Of course. That's the most animated he's been since we've been doing it.
Time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome on in. It is Tobin and Leroy. Game night.
Game night. Got a little taste last night.
Happy heat season, everybody. Ah.
Got a little taste last night.
Yep.
Not the taste I was looking for.
I was confused because Magic Johnson for the Lakers, first of all, he didn't start. And second of all, he was minus 17. I was told the Heat losing Magic Johnson was going to be crippling to them. So,
Gabe Vincent.
yeah, I'm just confused because I was told losing the greatest point guard known to man. I was told that was going to be crippling. And listen, this is no knock on Gabe because I do love the guy, but you know, again, the Heat are people were acting like the Heat were losing, the best point guard known to man. So either way, the Lakers, they still can't beat the Nuggets. That Joker, he's good.
He's good. I mean,
he's good.
You know what sucks about him? He's one of those people, and and he wasn't even trying.
Nope.
Right? You get mad at him because you look at him and he's just so effortless. Wasn't even trying.
I mean, he looks the way he does. And then you got Street Clothes who didn't score in the second half.
Yeah.
And it's just like sometimes it just doesn't make sense why the best basketball player in the world looks like that and the best boxer in the world looks the way Tyson Fury does.
Right. Right. Well, I just saw the news on the bottom.
What happened?
Jon Jones out. Now. Wait,
what?
Wait. No, this is what we're going to get to right now.
Yeah.
Because
it's not a drug test.
Wait,
so you
know the shenanigans that goes on with guys getting out. So is it another reason or is it really an injury?
They said he tore his pec last night. That he was training, I guess, was wrestling, and that something detached from his pec, and that he's out for 8 months.
Get some antler spray.
I mean, listen, he would if he could, but
hey, he didn't try everything else.
Yeah,
what's a little antler spray?
So yeah, I got that news this morning when I woke up. My producer for Tapped Out actually, which is timely because we record today, but he's out. Stipe then said, I'm not doing the fight then because he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to fight one of these young killers. He's like, I've done everything. I'm Stipe. I'm 40. I want to fight Jon Jones. So they're both out.
They're both out.
They're both out, and it's a killer. Because you want to know why?
Because we trust Jon Jones is why.
Yeah. I mean, Jon Jones is
he's so good, so we always, Jon Jones is back. Jon Jones is back.
Yeah, it's like, and again, this is unfortunate because this is injury. And I don't recall him ever being out because of injury. Obviously, for very, very many other reasons. Every other reason. Now he has a legit reason, but it's like, on top of this, it's kind of like what Deshaun Watson's going through right now. It's like, he already had a lot of reasons why he was out. Now you're hurt too.
Right.
So Jon Jones, Jon Jones is out 8 months, and I don't really know what they're going to do here because, well, I know what they're going to do for the fight, but it's interesting because now you're going to have an interim champion, and typically the interim champion fights the champion. So, like, is the Stipe fight just off, like, forever?
He said he's 40. He said he want to fight. I don't blame him.
First of all, the guy that's fighting, Sergey Pavlovich, this giant Russian. I saw him fight in Orlando. I saw him beat Ty.
When you went up there?
I went up there to watch. Yeah, I drove up there for the night to go watch UFC.
That was that the first fights in back? The first one of the
No,
first?
I went up for Jacksonville too. No, this was near the last Christmas.
Okay.
They were down here. And I'm like, hey, listen, you're in the state. Now they had not announced they were coming to Miami yet. So I probably wouldn't have made that drive if I knew they were coming in a few months later.
Right.
But this Pavlovich, he's the scariest person, I think. This is including Francis Ngannou. He's the scariest person I think I've ever seen step in a cage. He's the scariest Russian. And I don't like his Instagram because he lives down here. And he's just walking around in button-down shirts, living his best life, and it looks like he's just on Russian vacation when I know he's a killer. And I don't like he killed Tai Tuivasa so easily.
Right. And so Stipe don't want that smoke?
No. And I wouldn't either. And even Jon Jones was like, I think I'm retiring after this.
Right.
And of course you would, because this guy is a monster. It's a legitimate monster who's nobody's ever heard of. So why would you want to fight him? And then he's going to be fighting this guy, Tom Aspinall, who's a British guy. He's really good too. But he probably would have fought for the belts already. He had a knee injury last year that put him on the sideline, and he's never seen the third round. He finishes everybody in the first round, but he's not as intimidating looking as this Pavlovich is. So, look, it's a good fight, but the thing that's a killer about it is Jon Jones versus Stipe. This is a very young sport, and there's very few things that feel historical, and you're talking about maybe the greatest heavyweight of all time, the greatest fighter of all time, getting into an octagon and getting to square off, and that's taken away from you. You're just like,
and a year later, a lot can change in a year.
Of course.
Because that's what happens when we finally see these fights. Somebody's old or somebody's banged up, or just the years of doing it is worn them down. And it's not.
It took Jon Jones to get to heavyweight. Like, you think he's gonna be like, oh, gung ho, let's go back and let's take on a Russian no one's ever heard of.
Look how long it took him to get to. Well, now the only difference is he ain't got to cut no weight.
No, he doesn't. But
if you've seen his brothers, right? He is a heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's the slimmest of all of them.
He's pretty beefy now.
Well, he's beefy now, but have you seen his brothers?
Oh my God, scary.
Right. Exactly.
Scary.
In fact, his Chris on Kansas City, they got like one of the top defenses in the league.
He's not related to Chris Jones.
Chris Jones is not related to
him.
It's Jon
Jones and
Chandler.
Chandler.
He's related to Chandler. Chandler's going through a lot of stuff.
He's going through a lot of stuff too.
Arthur, I think, has been retired for a little bit.
There it is, Arthur.
God, if he was related to Chris Jones too.
Jesus. They're all built like
it's a giant
moose.
So yeah, I was bummed to hear that news this morning. Because Stipe versus Jon Jones, that's definitely been one we've been wanting forever.
I think when I go up to Cleveland, I'm gonna look for Stipe.
You should.
I can find him.
Yeah, go to the firehouse.
Which is crazy. Now that's what makes him America's guy, right?
Yeah.
Say, you know what? After I get done with this, making all my money, I got 72 hours at the station.
Stipe is funny too, man, because I got a lot of respect for him because he ain't gonna fight unless he gets the fight he wants. You know, a lot of these guys, they'll take
they'll take a side job to him.
They'll take whatever fight the UFC gives him. And Stipe is one of the reasons I don't think they embrace him as much as they do, even though he's probably the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Right.
Is like, I'm not gonna just step in and do whatever. I'm not gonna do Alexander. Like, think about this. This past weekend, one guy is legitimately the pound for pound best outside of Jon Jones, but even probably has the best argument against Jon Jones of anybody, Alexander Volkanovski. He's like, I'll step in on 10 days notice. And Kamaru Usman, who's one of the greatest welterweights of all time, like, I'll step in on 10 days notice. Both of them taking on two killers who had full camps, and they're just like, yeah, I'll step in. Nobody does this in fighting. This is crazy. And, maybe like a Cowboy Cerrone will do it every now and then, or a Masvidal will take a shit. Guys who have never won the belt before. These are very decorated champions.
Right.
And
both of them lost.
And they both lost. One got head kicked, and one guy, got basically ragdolled for a round.
But the fact
did good after that, but clearly was hampered because he didn't get to train like the other guy got to train. He didn't get to do a year to get his body ready for middleweight. And I just thought that was interesting. Like, Stipe's always gone with, I'll fight the fight I want to fight. I'm not going to fight your fight. So that's always a cool thing with Stipe. He's
the
a
thing
man
that
of
impresses
character.
me about Stipe, he is the only fighter that treats UFC like his side job.
Yeah.
And so from that standpoint, there's
he's
never
probably-
any pressure on
Probably
him.
never has to eat in Cleveland, never has to pay for a meal in Cleveland.
No.
Or can just do autograph signings in Cleveland. He's
So he got, hey, champ.
He's just good. He's just good. And he just lives his happy life. And that's that. So anyway, those are headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford. Leroy's looking.
The truck is in the bag.
We know trucks.
It is Miami Heat night. The Heat open up tonight against the Detroit Pistons. We will get into that as the Miami Heat get ready for another lovely season. We'll take a break. Back with more after this.
WQAM.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Miami Heat season gets underway today. 7:30 from the Kaseya Center. I'll be boots on the ground. Looking forward to it. Heat, Pistons, and they venture out on the road for 3. So,
they deserve to be at home.
Why is your mic facing that way?
I don't know, dude. You lucky it's close to my mouth.
I guess so.
Yo.
Hey, Vlad.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you for your contributions, Vlad.
Yeah, thank you for wearing a Heat shirt today. Hate to lollygag. Yeah, man, it's gonna be this is going in kind of banged up. No J Rich tonight. No Haywood Highsmith. You got Caleb Martin on a minutes restriction because of his knee. Jaime Jaquez seems like he's a little bit banged up too. Kyle Lowry gonna be the starting point guard after all that that fake drama that was all the that was all the rage at the start of camp. Oh, I can't believe Kyle said he expected to start. Ooh.
Who said that?
He did. No, like people were like reacted to. Oh, I can't believe he's saying that.
That here's the thing. And I got on Tyler about this, even though I understood where he was coming from. Right? It's something to be said to be a starter in the NBA. But the Heat do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Those starting 5 minutes are not an indication of who you are and what you mean to this team.
Yes.
It's more of when you get to the last 6 or 7 minutes of the game, who does he trust enough to have play that stretch?
Right.
That's how Spo operates. But Tyler still wanted to be a starter.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand it. But
it probably did. I get Tyler wanting to start. He's young. Kyle Lowry's established in his career, but even with him saying that, I'm like, who cares? What's wrong with him saying I expect to start?
That's not the important part, according to this team and the way they've done things.
Yeah, in the pantheon of drama, I was like, that is such a nothing. That was a nothing story. But because you never know how things are going to shake out, and now he is going to start tonight, most likely. I mean, I don't have the starting lineup, but use logic, and that's gonna be. He's had a good camp. He's in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what this year brings. Let's see what he brings to the table. I do think it's I don't love that all this stuff has kind of gotten brought back up over this past week, because I do feel like there's a little bit of angst from the Heat fan, because I think it was at a good point. Start of camp, preseason, everybody was kind of excited. This Bradley Beal thing over the last couple of days has kind of annoyed me, because it's like you're starting to dwell back on what didn't happen over the summer.
I mean,
and
you got to let some things go, dude.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Did Bradley Beal play last night?
He did not.
So why would you want a guy who's not
That's
even
what I'm saying.
His back doesn't work.
Wait, because you'll be saying the same thing. Okay, we got Bradley Beal. Oh, well, here's who's not starting. Here's who's not playing. Bradley Beal. Oh, didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
Why are you making a big deal about this? He's not playing basketball for anybody right now.
Because he's the second superstar that said that they wanted to play for the Heat over the summer.
It is. And that's the thing that's happened over the last week, where it's just like everybody's now reminded again, oh, yeah, they didn't do anything. And the other thing that's been interesting from the organization standpoint, which I don't really understand, because there was this I saw this clip today from Mark Spears, who did this whole diary with Bradley Beal, because the Heat, after this stuff comes out where he's like, oh, that was my initial place, it was kind of a gut punch when they didn't want me, when they were dragging their feet. And it seems like the Heat had a little bit of uneasiness with paying Bradley Beal all that money. Now that you see he's got a back injury, he's been dealing with injuries. He also hasn't been on a very good team over the last few years. He's not been the guy who was an all-star a couple of years ago. I kind of get the uneasiness of not wanting to add the money of a Bradley Beal. That being said, it was for cheapskis, because he went for nothing. And you're essentially adding.
He went for nothing because
he makes a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
He makes a whole lot of money.
Which is crazy.
But the thing that I found interesting from the Heat is the Heat made this march to go public after these Bradley Beal comments come out and say, well, it was because of the no trade clause, which, look, the Heat are usually a very savvy organization when it comes to having a pulse of how to handle their PR. They're very buttoned up. They, don't like to leak anything. So for them to come forward with that, I found it was strange, because you had this, I think the fan base, all of us would have been completely fine with the answer, which was pretty obvious in front of our face, which was, yeah, they were uneasy about paying Bradley Beal, but they wanted to go after Damian Lillard. Like, that was kind of the obvious thing in front of everybody, was it not, Leroy?
Yeah.
Like, like the Heat, we spent 3 seconds thinking about Bradley Beal. We spent an entire summer mind-numbingly talking about Damian Lillard. I'll tell you,
you were talking about Bradley Beal for 4 years.
Hold on. Who told you middle of the season, never wanted him? He's a flirt. I'm done with him. I've been telling you that. I was done with Bradley Beal.
You do that with all.
And you know what?
You do that with all the whales you don't end up with.
And what is this dude whose back doesn't even work? What is the last thing that he does to welcome me into the season? I really wanted to be in Miami the whole time. Hey, dude, get over it already.
Hey, back this bus up.
What?
You have now said that about every whale or so-called whale that you didn't end up with. Never wanted him anyway. So to say, when did I tell you I was out on Bradley Beal? Right? You've said that about a number of guys.
Wait, how can you be sad?
You said it about Jimmy.
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't.
Did.
No, I didn't. You're mincing words. No, I didn't.
What did you say then?
What happened was
I'm
going to
you.
tell you what I said. I'm going to tell you what I said. I know what I said. I know what I said about Jimmy Butler. When he went from Minnesota to Philadelphia, there was that whole report where he got into it. I'm not. There's that whole report that he got into it with Brett Brown in a meeting. And what I said was, we may have dodged a bullet. We may have dodged a bullet. That's what I said. We may have dodged a bullet with Jimmy Butler.
May?
Yeah, may have dodged a bullet. Exactly.
May.
So when he suggests may or possibly,
Speak into your microphone.
He's basically saying, glad we didn't end up with Jimmy. And guess what? And
then we ended up with Jimmy.
And then all of a sudden now that May is, I've always wanted him. I always wanted him.
Yes.
I mean, Jimmy Butler's been amazing.
Wait. Nobody's disputing what has happened since Jimmy's gotten here.
Right.
But I'm saying you go through these emotions with players once they get on your radar.
Mm-hmm.
And Bradley Beal was, listen, for all the players that we've talked about possibly having a chance to come to the Heat, from the KDs to all these players, Bradley Beal has been on your radar for the longest.
I would agree with that. People, I mean, like, listen, the flirtation was hot and heavy. I mean,
you were flirting with him too.
Not just me. Bam Adebayo one time did a jersey exchange. No.
It's got nothing to do with
One time, Bam Adebayo wore a Bradley Beal. Vlad, have you ever seen this in the history of basketball? Bam Adebayo, 4 seasons ago, they did a jersey exchange, right? That's common.
That happens all the time.
Bam goes to the locker room, talks to the media on television with the Bradley Beal jersey
that he just wore
on in reverse.
Yeah.
So it says Beal. And I'm like,
yeah.
who I think it was a New Jersey.
Okay. I was about to say.
I don't think it was sweaty. But he wore the jersey. Okay. And then him and Mrs. Beal were doing all this flirtation on. Every time there was a Heat Photoshop, they liked it. Oh, I want to go to the beach. So I just got tired of his act. And then this whole Bradley Beal thing gets drummed up this week, pisses everybody off. And I'm like, hold on. Why are we talking about Bradley Beal's no trade clause, Bradley Beal's salary, Bradley Beal's, talent? The whole reason they didn't go after Bradley Beal, the numero uno reason was they wanted Damian Lillard.
Yeah, but that's this time.
No,
what about all the other times?
But I'm talking about this summer. He can talk about, why was Miami dragging its feet? Yeah, I agree. The money was probably a factor. I don't know why they have to put it under the guise of no trade clause. That's stupid. I don't even know why you would put that out publicly. It's not going to make your fan base feel better. Hey, Heat Nation, why did they not go after Bradley Beal? Because they thought they were getting Damian Lillard. That's why. They thought they boxed in the Portland Trailblazers, and they thought they were going to get Damian Lillard. Why they would put out there, it was the no trade clause. Look, if Damian Lillard wasn't a thing, I bet you they probably would have thought about it a lot longer. Why were they dragging their feet? Oh, I don't know, because a way better player is going to be available, and he's going to say publicly, I only want to come to Miami. So this Bradley Beal has thrown a Molotov cocktail of pissy fans. Yeah, he did.
But I thought you didn't want him.
I don't.
Then why Why do here?
Because
why do you have a problem with something or someone you don't care about?
Because as a mouthpiece for Heat Nation, I need to let my people know. I need to let my people know.
You cannot do this.
No, I was ready.
You're the worst.
No.
You are the worst. Now all of a sudden you're the mouthpiece for.
I am a mouthpiece.
That's like last month when you apologized on behalf of the Heat.
No, I apologize.
Are you the Jimmy Hart of the Miami Heat?
Wrong.
Who you apologize?
I apologize to Raheem Mostert on behalf of the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But I am.
No.
Bradley Beal is going to sit here, and he tried to ruin the start of Heat season, saying, I really wanted to be in Miami. And it's like, all right, I get you, dude, but they wanted Damian Lillard, not you. Sorry, you a second potato. That's it. Now we have no potatoes. Our potato is hopefully going to be a giant Serbian who's going to be
the next
coming.
On your potato.
Yeah, we don't have any potatoes right now. Yeah. But at the time, he was second potato, and
he wasn't even second to potato. Like if I had a choice, right, of paying Damian Lillard $60 million, paying Beal $60 million, or paying nobody $60 million, it goes Dame, nobody, Beal.
Agreed.
So yeah.
But why the Heat are deciding to come out here and be like, oh well, it was the no trade clause?
Because
right.
Everybody in this world is defensive. Everybody has a problem with the way things look.
I think that's the problem I'm having with the Heat.
That's the problem I have with everybody.
This is the thing that I have that I think the organization is missing. All right. And as a mouthpiece for Heat Nation, let me just say, I don't need you to coddle me, Riles. I know. You should say, hey, ingrates. We've gone to the finals twice out of the last 4 years. We've gone to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 out of the last 4 years. Quit being big babies.
So wait, are you speaking on behalf of Heat Nation? On behalf of Riley? Because you switched. You just switched sides.
No. If Riley wants to use me as a consigliere, no, I'll explain.
Did he not switch sides?
Flip-flop.
No, I'm not flip-flopping. How am I flip-flopping?
It's not flip-flopping. It's not flip-flopping because you just.
I'm saying as a mouthpiece.
As a mouthpiece for Heat Nation. Right. But then you just said.
Because Riley's speaking to me as a mouthpiece for Heat Nation. And I'm saying, I don't want to hear about that. Don't tell me that.
Oh, you're
what are you, Neo and Riley's the Oracle?
Yeah, don't tell me. I'm the Oracle. Yes, I am the Heat Oracle. I'm the Orca Oracle. And what I'm telling Pat Riley is, I don't want to hear about, I didn't want to go after no trade clause.
Calm down, Mr. Smith.
What I need him to say is, here's what I wish Pat Riley would have said in his interview.
Now we're in the Matrix?
We are definitely in the Heat Matrix.
We're in the Heat Matrix.
I'll tell you what I wanted Pat Riley to say. Because Pat Riley's out here and he goes, oh, this is another thing. I saw he did many interviews. And I read one today with Tim Reynolds where he goes, oh, we never shopped Tyler Herro. Okay, dude. Like, how are you going to look, Pat, how are you going to go out there and play semantic samurai? We never shopped Tyler Herro. Now, if a top 5 player becomes available, we discuss everybody. Shopped, discussed, put your katana away. Okay?
Hey. You know what this sounds like?
That's crazy. That the samurai.
Like you are learning from the best. Yeah. The OG.
I don't like that he's trying to use wiggle room.
I cannot believe you're getting offended by Mr. Miyagi of
Semantic Samurai.
This guy.
Wait, no. You're the worst. You're really getting offended by something you do to me every day.
As a mouthpiece for Heat Nation, you can't pull the wool over my eyes. You shopped Tyler Herro. You can call it shopped. You can call it discussed. You can call it threw it out there. You can do it. You shopped Tyler Herro. He said that I thought it was, he's like on Twitter basically saying, see you next year on the trade rumors.
Hey, so no, we got to go back to this because you are a piece of work. You like, do you even like, you don't even feel bad.
What do you mean?
What you're doing right now?
I don't feel bad.
You're calling somebody out
because he's trying to
semantic samurai.
Because they, I don't know.
You know what it is, Leroy? He finally met somebody better than him.
Yes.
Oh, he's the best.
That's the thing.
He is the best.
It's like when you go against your mentor and you realize I still haven't been able to beat him yet.
I don't like that Navy commercial with the guy fighting himself in the middle of the street.
I don't understand this damage control that the Heat are trying to do.
It's not for you to decide.
But it should be. It should be for me to decide as a mouthpiece for Heat Nation.
No,
you should run all of this stuff by me.
Wait. So says the guy who says, I want to apologize to Raheem Mostert on behalf of the Dolphins.
Right.
You don't want to apologize to him. You do the same stuff.
Tobin, if they ran things by you,
Oh,
Spoelstra would be in Portland right now.
yes.
But we'd have Damian Lillard.
Middle of the weekend, we've got stuff. The Heat open their
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Can't wait. Heat season. Just so we're clear. Nobody's more excited about this season started than me. I can't wait. I'm just mad at Bradley Beal for bringing up all this old stuff.
Wait, man, move on.
I can't.
Like, you can. He's not on your team.
I'm a newsman.
You don't even play him. Not anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Move on.
He didn't move on.
We got other things to. That's his problem.
He didn't move on, and now there's all this, Pat.
Listen, didn't you say that he's gonna go?
They are.
Win champion?
They
okay,
are.
So
look, there's nothing.
So why? What does Bradley Beal?
I'm trying to get everybody in the.
What role does Bradley Beal play? None. So let's move on.
No.
You get so caught up in things, man. Let it go.
No.
Let it go.
No.
Why?
Because I have to.
He's not even playing basketball for anybody.
It must be addressed.
Let it go.
It must be addressed.
Let it go, Tobin.
I'm looking forward tonight to Heat basketball.
Then why are we talking about Bradley Beal?
Because he brought us up first.
He's not even playing basketball.
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
you want a broke back?
Hmm?
He has a broke back, doesn't he?
Spinal.
Oh, my spinal.
Back alignment.
That's one of my favorite
How's your
answers.
back not even work in the preseason? What happened?
It's my spinal.
I don't know.
Look, I'm with you. I do, but I can't just ignore things. Like when things are out there in the ether, they have to be addressed as a mouthpiece for Heat Nation. People expect this from me.
I can't understand you.
You can't. It's the worst. Like,
but make no mistake, we're taking the East again.
You know what? Can I ask you a question? When you go to the game tonight and you see Pat Riley, do you bow to him like
of course.
Mr. Miyagi?
That's my guy.
No, because
that's my guy.
That is your semantic samurai sensei.
Look, when you told
Right.
when you
3 S's.
when people were like
triple S.
When people were talking about carrying water over there, like, listen, nobody's carrying more water from Pat Riley. I love Pat Riley.
Wait, so
I just don't understand.
We got Triple J and we got Triple S.
I just don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand why he finds this need to like. I don't know. It just kind of felt like pandering to me, to the entire fan base. It's like, come on, guys, you're the Heat. You don't do this for them.
Look, it's no different than what you're doing right now.
How?
Because you're bringing up a guy that doesn't play for the Heat. And why should we care?
But
why should we care?
Because if they're going to react to it, I'm going to react to it. If they're going to go out there and be like, oh, it's because of no trade clause, not because of the money. It's like,
but that's
not even a good. That's not
the angle you took, though.
It's not the angle
you went at the Bradley Beal.
That's what I'm saying.
Why? Who cares?
Because he's the one who said, I thought I was going to go to Miami, and they were dragging their feet. Miami came out that week publicly and said, because we had concerns about the no trade clause.
Because you know why? Because their fan base thinks that
they're being cheap.
No, their fan base.
The fan base thinks they're being cheap.
Thought that they had 2 opportunities to improve their roster, and they failed on each one. So we understand what happened with Dame. It had nothing to do with the Heat. But it's the Beal thing and go, well, why couldn't we get Beal? So they just responded to it. But
that's a terrible reason to use. You should have just said because we were going after Dame.
So now you're coming up with the reasons that people will buy.
That's why you guys.
You know why? He's used all his Cronin excuses now. So now he's going to Beal. That's it. That's it. You're moving on to somebody.
I don't
to
understand
blame.
why you guys are so confused by this. Beal spoke this week about the Heat. He said he was disappointed he's not in Miami. The Heat's answer to that was because we were scared of the no trade clause, which is just basically verbal jujitsu for saying we were worried about his money, which is fine. You're allowed to be worried about his money.
Yes, you can be worried about his money. A guy making $60 million, you can't dump him.
Yeah, but you can't tell the fan base that you're worried about the money because they're going to call you cheapskates. So, as a mouthpiece for Heat Nation, and probably should be a consultant for the Heat, what you should have said was the reason we didn't go after Bradley Beal was we were worried. We were busy going after Damian Lillard.
Why are you all of a sudden? What do they call that person that speaks on behalf of the president?
Press secretary?
Press secretary.
Yeah.
Right. Why are you suddenly Heat press secretary? That's not what we want.
Because they haven't done a good job. They've done a bad job of it.
Fine. Nobody gives a rat's ass about Bradley Beal.
You're
they
wrong.
care more about why they couldn't get Dame.
They care about both now. But here's the thing. But here's the thing.
You think Bradley?
I will tell you, Leroy. This is the thing. If they would have if they would have said that. If they would have said that oh, why didn't we go after Bradley Beal? We go after Damian Lillard, baby. But instead, it makes it seem like, oh, you could have gone after Bradley Beal too. No, don't say that. Don't tell me that. Oh, well, it was the no trade clause.
But the Bradley Beal stuff happened way before.
It wasn't way before.
No? Okay.
It wasn't way before.
But they certainly stopped talking about Bradley Beal when Dame Dollar came in the mix, right?
I didn't even think about Bradley Beal.
Okay, okay.
But
So the Heat are making it sound like if they didn't have that no trade clause, they would have never been in the mix for Dame Dollar because they would have had Bradley
exactly.
Beal. I got you.
And that's why I'm like, why are you making it sound like you guys were going to do this for him? I get it. Bradley Beal, he's been tied to the Miami Heat. You're right. We've been talking about the Bradley Beal.
You have.
Fine. I have been talking about the Bradley Beal, although I did get off that ship this year.
Okay.
Heat fans have been talking about Bradley Beal for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Then a better whale came along and we fumbled the bag on that for whatever reason. For whatever reason. He's not here. He's in Milwaukee. He's not here.
So let's talk about who's here. That's my whole thing.
Okay, that's fine. We'll get there.
Eventually, if you let it go.
But it's not my fault. Bradley Beal brought it up. Because this guy, once again, this is why I never wanted him on the Heat in the first place.
You have unnecessary salt.
No.
Your sodium is high for all the wrong reasons.
Well, listen.
Right? You ain't even been eating chips or nothing. You ain't been perspiring.
I would love to go into tonight just talking about the beautiful debut of Jaime Jaquez and that hair, because I love this kid. And his footwork. My God. Mwah. But this Bradley Beal, it's not enough that he's already gotten what he said his second choice. All right. You're playing with Kevin Durant. But now he needs to tell the fan base that he was always flirting with that, by the way, I always wanted to end up with you. And it's like, you know what, dude? Mind your business. He should have minded his business. And then for the Heat to say, oh, it was because of the no trade clause, when it wasn't the no trade clause.
Uh-oh.
What?
Here's your doppelganger.
No, you're not going to get to do that.
Jerry Jones.
Okay. You're not doing that right now.
49ers can be had.
You're not going to be distracted by Get Up right now. You're not doing that. That's very rude. That's very rude.
I don't want to be
very rude.
I don't want to be
very rude.
I'm sorry. Can we move on?
I will. Let me wrap this up. The point is,
why? Okay, so to your point, why didn't you just say no?
I will not say the word.
Why didn't you just say no?
I will just say the word.
Why just say no?
Say no to what?
That we ain't moving on because you said, "Oh, just let me finish." that means no.
You're not going to talk about Jerry Jones right now.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Bradley Beal, I just want to make a couple points, okay? To end this for the show and for all time, because I'm not going to bring it up again. I'm not going to bring it up again.
Okay.
For all time,
can we
just
put
so we're
something
clear
on this that you won't mention Bradley Beal ever again?
Unless they're playing them. And I'm going to call him a coward. But just for all time, let me just say, Bradley Beal, from the start of last year, never wanted him. Second of all, dude,
what?
You spent the entire time flirting with the Heat. You're on the Suns now. Mind your business. For 3, Miami Heat, stop acting like you were going to go after him this summer. You weren't. It wasn't no trade clause. It wasn't money. You're going after Damian Lillard, okay? Heat Nation, you don't have both of them. I understand the frustration in that because you want shiny new stuff.
I wonder where to get that from.
I don't know.
Who else likes shiny new
The mouthpiece of the Heat fans. The mouthpiece of the Heat fans.
But to end this,
spokesperson.
But to end this, it's time to move on. It's time to grow up because we're all going to change here, Heat Nation.
I just asked you to move on for 25 minutes.
I'm trying to do that.
I'm holding you up.
Yeah, you are. I want to round to home. You're like, no, stop at third, get a lead. Yeah, hold on one second. Hey, 560, you're on the air. What's your name? Hey, you're on the air. What's your name? Hey, Moose.
Wait a minute. This is not about Leroy. This is about Tobin.
How did it turn out? Did he send a text?
We back, baby. Yep. That's right. Yes. Tell him, Moose. Look, to land the plane on this, he's right. Tyler Herro.
Can I just tell you, the way you land in this plane, you're going to be in the next episode of Mayday Air Disaster.
To land the plane on this.
You're like Denzel in Flight right now.
Just to land the plane on this. To land the plane on this. One for one.
Denzel.
Bradley Beal, keep our name out your mouth, okay? Stop talking about us.
Oh, he went Will Smith.
Okay.
On you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For two, Damian Lillard, you didn't have the guts to stick it out and be a villain, okay? So enjoy Milwaukee. You'll lose in 5. For 3, Pat, stop saying that you were never shopping Tyler Herro. That's a lie, okay? For 4, I love you. And for 5, go Heat.
Oh, you were the worst. You were the worst.
560, you're on the air. What's your name? Whoa, where is he?
He's just passing Mars.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, you're on the air. What's your name?
On his way to the sun.
Leroy. We never wanted him.
Never did. Never did.
He can keep his $60 million in his no trade clause. We never wanted him.
Bum. The Wizards. You know the only thing that Bradley Beal's ever won? Money from the Wizards.
That's good.
Tricked them.
That's always good.
Tricked them. Yeah, it is good. It's good. But never wanted them.
Okay. We come back for hour 2.
Mhm.
We're done with this.
We're
not
this.
done. You know we're not.
I'm not talking about it anymore.
Until
So what do we have here?
All I want is
No. There needs to be some type of penalty because you lie.
I don't lie.
So you're saying right now,
-1
on air,
Yeah.
for Sass.
that you would never mention the name Bradley Beal again.
Unless they're playing games.
They're playing.
Unless they're playing games.
No.
Against
Wait.
Against the Heat.
Wait,
Against
unless
the
they're
Heat.
playing games against the Heat.
Unless they're playing the Heat.
Again, because
So now-
he said that before.
Unless they're playing games
All
against the
right.
Heat.
But
So-
this time he tried to
Like,
say,
no. For example,
unless they're playing games.
for example,
James, I know that.
right. For example, if we play the Suns in the finals, which I predicted yesterday,
Oh yeah.
I will bring up that I never wanted you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Unless they're opponents.
They play twice a year.
Yeah,
right?
unless they're opponents.
Okay. What if,
Unless they're opponents.
Unless-
what if it's
unless
a
they're
game he's
opponents.
hurt? What if it's a game he's hurt and he doesn't
If
play
he
against
does
the
not play,
If
his
he's
name's
hurt,
out your
Won't
mouth.
mention it.
You
Won't
can't
mention
say
it.
you
Won't
can't
mention
even
it.
say Bradley
No.
Beal he's hurt and then
He
take
can't
won't
shots
mention
at
it.
him.
I swear to God, I won't mention it.
He can't even say what a
I'm
straight
ready
face.
He can't
I'm
because
ready
you
to
know
move
he's
on.
gonna take a shot. If he misses
Wait.
a game, he's gonna be
J
like,
Fix. All right, J Fix got it. If I do it, automatic bid to the dartboard of doom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If I
Yes.
mention him,
Yes.
no shot at him, no shot being injured.
I will not mention
No. Look.
Bradley Beal.
Put the katanas away.
Yeah,
because you know you
I'm not gonna do it. Swear to God, I'm not going to mention.
For a guy who can't say transition, he certainly works his way
I
around.
swear to
He's
God.
English
looking for
language.
any loophole
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
not looking for loopholes.
You are looping.
I got to talk about the game. If I, that's it. But I just want to be clear. Okay, I didn't
And
want.
wait. And this includes
Hmm?
your weekly visits to Heat Weekly. If I turn on and hear you say
Yeah, you
Bradley
can't talk
Beal,
trash
you
to him
I,
every
can't.
won't. I
time.
would never
Okay.
talk about that. I'm not even worried about that. But
Okay.
just so we're clear,
Okay.
I will not mention, which I didn't even want to mention Bradley Beal. Just so we're clear.
You spent an hour on him.
I know, but it's his fault. He brought it up. And then the Heat, they entertained his nonsense. See, I think I'm mostly upset that the Heat entertained his nonsense.
You called your boss a liar. That's what you calling him.
It's because it's malarkey. I mean, like, dude, listen to this quote from him. Okay. I mean, this is art. This is why Pat Riley's the best, but also it's a lie.
You know why Tobin's offended? He couldn't come up with some.
This is what Pat Riley
some
said
mastery
on
like
Tyler
this.
Herro. He told this to Tim Reynolds. Okay. Quote, we never shopped him and had no interest in ever trading the guy. But when you're talking about acquiring one of the top 5 players in the league, there isn't anybody on our team that won't be discussed. Oh, what? It's art. That's semantic samurai. That's great. Anyway, I didn't even want to talk about Bradley Beal. Okay.
So you're like Spo to Riley when it comes to semantic samurai.
-1.
right?
Yes.
You're his
A
understudy.
little bit.
But you need to start watching game film because you suck at it.
I disagree with that. The point is, I didn't even want to mention.
We'll see because you know this Bradley Beal thing is coming, right?
Bro, it's
coming.
bothering
It's not coming.
him.
It's
It
not-
is so bothering
What
him
bothered me,
right now.
this is what bothered me. Okay, I'll tell you what bothered me, and then I'm never talking about Bradley
Toby,
Beal.
just admit it. You're upset that 2 orcas
Mhm.
said they wanted to swim in Miami. They wanted to
Yeah.
swim in the shores of
Mhm.
Miami,
Mhm.
Kaseya Center.
Mhm.
And you're seeing that maybe the Godfather, something happened with the executives, something happened with the Heat, that they weren't able to land these 2 orcas.
Yes.
And these 2 orcas continuously say They wanted to land in Miami.
That hurts. It does hurt,
So
Vlad. I'm not going to
that's
say it
what's
doesn't hurt.
And then so
But-
when you hear that,
but-
and then Riley's saying what he's saying,
Right.
it bothers you.
What bothers me about what Pat is doing is Pat is trying to do damage control in the wrong way. Okay? What he should have said was, why didn't we go after Bradley Beal? Because we were going after a better Orca. That's why. We didn't get him, but that's who we wanted. And instead, they're trying to make it seem like, because basically Bradley Beal's telling you, I would have accepted a trade to Miami in 3 seconds. And so you basically said, we didn't take your sure thing because he's too expensive. That's fine. But instead, it's like, we didn't get the sure thing, and we didn't get the thing we were going after. So now we're left here holding nothing.
How about those those whales were going to be expensive regardless?
Everybody's expensive in the NBA.
Okay, then. So then
Everybody's expensive in the
Not
NBA.
that expensive.
not that expensive, right? So then, therefore, maybe
You ain't got
Riley's-
nobody making within 10 million of them.
Jimmy is.
Not
Jimmy's-
yet.
He
Jimmy's
will
what,
be.
35,
And
maybe?
they don't make that
Wait,
for a couple
Jimmy-
years either.
Okay.
They don't make that for a couple of years either.
Okay.
And Bam's going to be making that every year for the next 4 years next year.
Right.
You know? So my point is, I'm not talking about Bradley Beal anymore. I didn't even want to talk about Bradley Beal. He won't stop bringing us up. And then I don't want the Heat to even entertain Bradley Beal and his nonsense because they're falling for it, which is what we see. See, here's the thing with Pat, right? Pat's only been dealing with this Bradley Beal flirtation for like 4 months. And now this latest public thing. I've been dealing with Bradley Beal's antics for 4 years. Okay. Pat, this is what he's been doing the entire time if you've been on Twitter. Okay.
You've been all warm and fuzzy about Bradley Beal for 4 years.
No, not this last year. I was tired of his nonsense.
Okay, fine.
BS.
No, it's not.
That is.
It-
Wait a minute. Once free agency started, and you started hearing rumors that Bradley Beal wanted to get traded, he was waiving a no trade clause. You were like, "Oh, Leroy, I was there with you."
I don't think you were.
Yeah,
I don't think-
Leroy. He
Find the
was,
tape.
Here we go.
Find the tape.
Leroy.
Here we go.
Find the tape.
Leroy. That first week,
Nope.
he was all about Bradley Beal.
Find the
Then when
tape.
Bradley Beal got traded to Phoenix, you were like, "I don't want him."
I
didn't want him after
I
that.
didn't want him because we were getting Dame, but we didn't get Dame. And that's why I'm sad.
Why don't you just that's all you had to say. That's all you had to say.
But here's the thing. I'm more just so this is the thing with Heat Nation. And I really want to move on from this. Are you upset you didn't get Damian Lillard? Completely reasonable thing to be upset about. We all thought we were getting Damian Lillard. But I'm not going to get extra mad that we didn't get Bradley Beal because the whole reason we didn't get Bradley Beal is because we were trying to get Damian Lillard. Okay? Stop telling me, oh, no trade clause. What? One team. But you want to know something, dude? Doesn't even matter because that Suns thing, going to beat him in the finals. The Bucks, going to beat him in the Eastern Conference Finals because we got Jaime Jaquez.
That's your dream, isn't it?
Oh.
ECF beat the Bucks and then beat the
There's
Suns
not-
in the finals.
Listen, there's nothing like a petty win in a playoff series. Nothing. No, you know this. Okay? You know this. There's nothing like a petty playoff win.
I know.
There's nothing like it. It's almost better than a championship.
Sometimes
Like the Heat haven't won championships, but beating the Celtics is almost as good because F Boston. F Boston. But I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Stop looking at me like that.
I'm just,
So herefore,
we've known each other for a long time. We've eaten many meals together, taken trips
Yeah.
together, and you look me right now and lie.
I'm not lying to
I'm
you.
offended.
I swear to God. Here, look at me. Look at me in the eye.
Hold up the other hand. That's not the hand you hold up and put on the Bible. There you go.
You can't see it on camera though.
Move over. Look at these people.
Brendan Tobin.
Your fingers crossed.
Nope. Henceforth, promise to not mention Bradley Beal to the Heat anymore.
No. Here, notice first caveat.
Or Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal to the Heat.
Or Bradley Beal.
Okay.
Unless the Heat are playing the Suns.
Okay.
If I do,
Dartboard to do.
automatic throw at the dartboard of doom.
And he has to be playing.
Agreed.
Okay.
If he's hurt, you can't take shots. Oh, thank God we didn't get this injured or anything like that. No shots. He has to be
Agreed.
playing.
Agreed.
Okay.
Right.
No more talking about Bradley Beal from old Tobs.
Mm-hmm.
It is fourth dead in my mind.
I give it a week.
Nope. Not going to do it.
You can't resist.
I give it 10 minutes.
Nope. I will not talk about Bradley Beal
you
for the rest of
think-
the show.
He's gonna wait.
I will not
He
talk about him
doesn't-
for the rest of time.
I gave you a week.
I will not
He
talk about
says
Bradley
you
Beal.
won't make it till the end of the show.
I will not talk about Bradley Beal.
Our Tua, Bradley Beal.
Swear to God. Swear to God. I'm
Okay.
done. Henceforth, automatic punishment throwing at the dartboard of doom.
Okay.
If I break this promise, so help me God, Riley be with you.
Okay. Got you.
Howard Tua is next.
Hey, want to see the ugly
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Valoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tonga Valoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen.
South Park.
Love South Park, dude.
Isaac Hayes, the black dude.
Chef.
Yeah, the chef. Yeah.
Welcome on in, everybody. Tobin and Leroy taking you up until 2.
We
Apologize.
had to change sports on his ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Miami Dolphins will be back on the practice field today. Nick Needham.
Back?
He is off. He's off PUP. So the bad news is Isaiah Wynn's going on IR for the time being.
Really? So
So
that's 4 weeks.
That's another.
So that's another O lineman.
That's another O lineman, which is which is not great.
Is anybody coming back?
Might be Jalen Ramsey week, baby.
No.
On the line?
On the line. That's more
No,
important.
I don't think so.
So Connor's still out?
Connor is the only one I think who can come back.
That's the most important one. The center?
Yeah.
You want?
By the way, those Liam Eichenberg snaps. Oof. I thought Connor Williams snaps were a little.
Dude, can I just tell you? I don't think people understand what it's like to look between your legs, snap a football with a moose in front of you, knowing that,
Philadelphia does have a lot of mooses.
Whew.
Mooses.
Listen, here's what needs to happen. And I've heard somebody else say this, but I was thinking the same thing. Teams are doing this to the Dolphins. If you have a reputable front four, they're playing soft, letting you go sideways, run. When Tua looks, nobody's moving. Everybody's staying in their spot. And so all the things that you were doing to create space, they're not allowing you to do it because they're just not paying attention to it. And their hope is that those front guys can get there. You change it up with a blitz every now and then. They're not playing a whole lot of man. That's what Buffalo did. They got an excellent front four. That's what Philly did. They got an excellent front four.
Yep.
That's what New England did to start it. Not as good. So
Right.
Tua picked them apart. So this is what you need to see moving on into the future is how is our game plan going to look when teams do this to us? Now, the one thing you can do is run the football. But last week, they didn't run the football that well.
No, especially
so
in the first half, it was non-existent. Got a little better in the second half.
Right. They did run it some against Buffalo. So there's that. They ran it well against New England.
I mean, they've been the best. They've been the best running team in the league.
But they ran it well against New England. So these are the things you look for. If a team's going to play us soft, if a team's going to play off, if a team is only going to rush 4 and try to get to us with 4 and drop 7, we got to be able to run the football. If we can run the football, we change their thinking, and then it gets us into a better position to throw the football.
There was a report yesterday from where the hell is this guy's name? I'll get it, but there was a report yesterday that the Dolphins had submitted several missed calls from incorrectly called penalties for the league to review. Now, it doesn't win you anything.
No, it doesn't.
Hopefully, this is one of those things where they can rectify and get a little bit of something, because it was crazy. Seeing all the still shots and all that stuff was hilarious.
It's crazy. Like 4 plays, like blatant. It wasn't like and the officials in the screen looking right at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just look. We all get held accountable for everything we do on that football field. Why not them?
I think the thing that's going to be interesting to watch this week is, look, the Patriots have, they had this big win last week against the Bills. They're going to be feeling froggy. They're coming down here. The Dolphins have been amazing under Mike McDaniel at home.
Yes.
They've been really, really good.
Yes, but again, the Patriots are the originators of this plan to stop Tua. They started this.
Mm-hmm.
There's been other teams that have implemented it, but the one thing that those other teams have had that the Patriots don't have is pressure with 4. And so that's why it makes it a little more difficult for them.
Sure.
But keep in mind, they are the team that came up with the game plan
that slowed it up.
Slowed it up.
Yeah, that's
slowed it up.
Because even Tyreek Hill still got off in a couple times
Sure.
in that game, but that was his worst game of the season.
Right. So understand that while we're talking about the Patriots and they just came off a win against, Buffalo and whatever, this was the first team that came up with a decent game plan to slow down that offense. So I want to see how the offense responds.
Josh asking the Dolphins to be 100% healthy for just one game. Probably not.
I was looking along what Dolphin Kane said. Why does Tobin have Smith and Smolik on his shirt?
I love Schmita.
That's not Smith. That's Baby Spo.
Got my guy from
Baby Spo, baby.
Parks and Rec had this to me. He did a new painting for me, and then he's like, "Hey, take some shirts." So I was like, "Yeah, shout out." Alex does a great job. If you guys go check him out, it's up on my Instagram, Brennan_Tobin. You guys can see the canvas that he put together for me. But he also gave me this Baby Spo shirt.
And El Bore, you're correct from a certain standpoint
About tight end.
Yeah, because what a tight end does in this offense, it allows you to run the football. It gives you an additional blocker, even if that guy is a pass catching tight end. You line them up on the inner line of scrimmage. It gives assistance to the run game.
They do that.
They have to come up.
Yeah, they do that with Smythe and even Julian Hill.
But they don't want to take a weapon out of the game, and that's why they don't do this much.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So in obvious run situations, they might go in with the tight ends, or that way.
They don't throw to their tight ends.
And so from that standpoint, it almost looks as if they don't use the tight end because they're eliminating an aspect of their offense because you can't throw them the football. So that's why they don't. But I agree that if they find that guy that you can get 40, 50 catches a year
Mm-hmm.
and still put him on the end of the line of scrimmage and have him do some pass pro and block, yeah, that's going, because here, the more you bring into the box, the more they got to bring. Yeah. Otherwise, you just ram it down their throat.
I just think as a game planning thing, like, look, I don't think the Dolphins are in this spot where I'm going to be like, oh, anybody's going to figure them out yet. But you can only take so many hits. Like, look, the offensive line has gone way beyond everybody's expectations this year.
They were really good when healthy.
You can only take so many hits.
Right. Well, like, look,
you can only take so many hits, dude.
They were really good with everybody, all hands on deck. If you start taking hands off deck, and that's just, and it's that's the same with thing, everybody.
But it's the same thing with the secondary. It's like, you could take, all right, we could go a game without Xavier Howard and Eli Apple. We'll figure it out on one side. Then you lose Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey and Kaderko, who got to be out there doing more, and Eli Apple got to be, even when Eli, when he declares it's an Eli day. You could only take so much. I
appreciate my man not backing down, but damn.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that.
And it could get, and like, look, yes, you're taking on Mac Jones, who sucks. But like, if you're not gonna, let's just say in a doomsday scenario, Jalen Ramsey's not ready, and you have Jalen Ramsey maybe out, Xavier Howard maybe not all the way back.
Nick coming back.
Nick Needham's coming back, but Javon Holland in concussion protocol. So like, you're talking about all that secondary that's already been a little bit limited.
We haven't had you, and the cool thing about it is the thing that has helped is that you've gotten some pressure on the quarterback up front. So it relieved the tension off the back end, but you're still losing bodies, right? And I guess, I think that might be one of the reasons why they're playing so much zone, is that you got a lot of new faces. And I don't know if I want Eli Apple playing man, to be honest with you, because he will bite the cheese and he will go for the slant and go and try to tackle the guy.
Mousetrap.
Once a game. Mousetrap. That's it.
Those headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trust.
Quickly,
I should probably leave the coffee alone.
Diamondbacks take out the Phillies in Game 7 of the NLCS 4-2. So we got a Diamondbacks Rangers World Series.
Ooh, big ratings.
Oh yeah, dude. Listen,
Diamondbacks and Rangers. That's nobody east of the Mississippi.
That's right.
It's a 2-hour flight from either city.
The Panthers beat the Sharks last night 3-1. Sam Reinhart, Carter Verhaeghe.
Reinhart is on fire.
Rhino's been he's been killing.
We've got 7 goals this
killing
season.
it so far.
7
dude.
goals.
Heat, they open up tonight against the Pistons at 7:30. Coverage on QAM begins at 6:15. Jay Rich, Haywood Highsmith, they will miss tonight's opener. And last night, the Nuggets handled the Lakers 119-107. Gabe Vincent, he was a team low -17 over Florida from downtown.
Hey, so
that's what we're doing now.
You see what they did with LeBron? They put him on minutes restriction.
Yeah.
And
which is kind of crazy. Oh, it's like now you're gonna put him on a minutes restriction. The Heat were doing that with Jimmy last year. Jimmy was what, 7 years younger than LeBron?
Yeah, but I mean,
or what?
He's about
how old is LeBron? Is he 40?
No,
he's 38.
38.
He's 38?
Yeah.
I thought he was like 40s already.
21. He went into the league when he was
18.
18, right. So the crazy thing about
Jimmy's 4 years younger than LeBron.
The crazy thing about all this is that, I mean, they're putting him on a minutes restriction now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. I mean, he should be on one.
They should.
He should be on one. But
well, it'd be nice if his
that was playing out to be a LeBron game where he scores 20 points in fourth quarter.
It's but the Heat did this with Jimmy last year because Jimmy was banged up. They played him. They really limited his minutes in the regular season.
It didn't matter.
What do you mean?
You think it mattered?
Did you see how he played in the playoffs?
No, I know.
That's the whole point. Like, you get him geared up. But yeah, LeBron's been pretty banged up as a Laker.
They tried to do it last year, but then they ended up as the 10th
They
seed.
always do that. No, they always try, and then what's his name?
Somebody gets hurt. Street Clothes gets hurt. Now LeBron got to play 40 minutes.
Right. And here's the other thing. All these great players say, yeah, they want to be put in a limit restriction, time limit restriction, and then they start saying, "Oh, I need to get going.
Get my wind.
I got to get my wind back. I got to ante up." LeBron can't play 24 minutes. It's not in his DNA. He's gonna play 30. He's gonna have to ratchet the minutes up sooner or later.
How much did Joker? How many minutes did Joker play last night? He played.
I don't know, but he had a triple double.
He was thinking about his horses.
He played. How many he played? 36.
36 minutes.
But he had a triple double.
Yeah, 29, 13, and 11.
It's like that dude gets and that's a different triple double than what Westbrook and Harden used to get, right? Because it's probably very, very efficient.
Super.
Like he don't make no extra unnecessary moves.
Nope. All right, take a break. Back after this.
If a hurricane hits our area this season, keep it here on AM 560 Sports WQAM for up to the minute.
I feel like I need to put a fist up or something.
This is a good walk into the arena song.
Yep. Let me tell you something. Everybody as a kid. Shut your mouth. How many times you said that as a kid?
Oh, that was maybe every day as a 4-year-old.
Yep.
So you want to say why we were playing?
Yes. Richard Roundtree is no longer with us. He has passed. He is the original Shaft. In fact, he was Samuel L. Jackson's dad in the remake of Shaft. So if y'all know who, if y'all saw the new Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson, that was the original Shaft. And that was pretty cool that they actually had the original Shaft in the Shaft movie, right? As the dad. That was cool.
No, it was great. That was good. And
Yeah.
just, bringing the foundation, bringing it back to the roots. Like, okay.
Because we used to, I'm telling you, as a kid, used to watch that. It was a good show. So rest in peace. Who was probably one of the coolest dudes growing up. You
wanted to be Shaft.
You wanted to be Shaft. You had that black leather jacket with the black turtleneck. Come on, man.
The fro.
You had to have the fro.
You had to have the fro.
Yeah.
You had to.
Yeah, I'm a long way from that fro right now. But that's okay. By the way, it has come to my attention that we need to go to court.
This is ridiculous. This is not
because Vlad, I looked over and Tobin was typing Bradley Beal.
That's not
Wait,
fair.
what?
Yes.
Not fair.
Why were you typing Bradley Beal?
No. So he said, I'm not talking about it, right? But he already found a caveat 12 and a half minutes after we talked about the caveat cowboy over here.
I'm not going to say the person's name, but the reason that person who I can't say I was putting up, I was literally posting the clip on YouTube so people can watch
Why were you smirking?
Why are you posting things?
He was smiling.
No, the reason I was smirking was because I was typing like this, and Leroy was like giving me the look. I was going, fast typer. And he goes, what are you doing? What are you typing?
I just knew something was up, Vlad. I knew something was up.
On YouTube, you guys can
you couldn't go 10 minutes.
All I was doing was posting the clip on YouTube, which you guys can watch, by the way. Miami 56
Let me read the
WQAM.
caption. This is a true test.
Good.
Here's the caption.
The caption says,
Tobin swears to not talk about Bradley Beal to Miami Heat anymore.
see? It's on the record now. Now it's easily found on our YouTube page.
See, this is why we need a trial and we need a
Oh,
judge.
you definitely
because this is like,
you don't understand how his brain is working?
You know what? This is like in all the movies back in the day when the guy got caught smoking a joint and he said, I got glaucoma. right. That's it, right. This is how I feel.
Don't you see the smile in his face?
Smoking weed was illegal, right? But you have found a caveat that hopefully somebody buys.
I'm just having fun, baby.
I understand.
I thought you guys wanted the clip for people to see.
I understand.
Tobin's mind is working so evil right now. He doesn't have to say it. He's like, I don't have to say it.
I suppose,
but they never said I don't have to post.
Look,
I can't type things about Bradley Beal. I just can't talk about Bradley Beal.
I can't talk about who you're talking about, but what I'm just trying to. I thought you guys would want the people to see that I am on the record swearing that I can't talk about that person. So I'm not trying to do anything sneaky. I was, in fact, if anything, it's about more accountability.
Tobin, you have a problem, and this is an intervention. Tobin, on Beal Talk, I just can't quit you.
I'm not. I already quitted. I was quit.
Boulder Beal. I get that one.
Oh, man. All right. We'll take a quick break. You guys can get us at 305-567-0560. If you're a Heat fan, you're fired up. You're going to the game tonight. Love to hear from some Heat Nation out there. Dolphins back on the practice field today. Could be the first practice back fully on the first team for one Jalen Ramsey. Mike McDaniel.
I think. Do you think they are a little more cautious with him? I know they need him, but this is a tricky thing. Do you want something like this lingering?
Supposedly he doesn't have any limitations. Like he's
that's a whole different story.
That's what we'll play a couple of McDaniel on him, but he was making it sound like he's good to go.
Okay.
Or is on the mend to good to go. I guess
Right.
you know him. He's always like, but I like to protect people from themselves. You know, that's
Right.
always
Right.
the Mike McDaniel. He's a caveat cowboy.
By the way, on YouTube, was it Hazio? PKK?
Hazio. Yep.
You can't just Voldemort him and get away with talking about him just because he who must not be named him. It still counts.
That's not
Where's
fair.
the dartboard?
But I'm being no. That's
I'm done
not
with him.
I'm not talking about him. I am being told that even me writing the name is
But here's the problem.
is ridiculous.
Here's the problem. If you didn't think it was that big of a deal, why, when I looked over to see what you were doing, you were giving me the look. You had to smirk.
You're like
you were doing some dirt.
because you
Did
gave
you
me
not
this,
have to smirk like you were doing some
gave
dirt?
me this look because I was typing, and you're like,
you were mighty quiet.
What are you doing?
You know what you're like when the dog goes into the other room and it's quiet. You better go check on it.
It's just because
I saw you over there typing.
No.
You were quiet. I'm like, let me see.
You
what
just
this
always
dude is
happen
doing.
to think I'm up to nonsense.
Because you are.
Take a break. Back up to this.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass Auto Mall Studios. Shop massive savings.
Drizzy back up in this thing, I'm ready. What's happening? Gone for surgery, but now I'm back again. I'm about my paper like a scratching.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy. I was just showing Leroy highlights during the break, Vlad, of Sergei Pavlovich. This is the guy who's replacing Jon Jones. He's so scary.
It's so scary.
He's very scary.
Whoa! He got his head split.
Yep.
Let me tell you something.
Yeesh.
There's nothing scarier than an MMA or a boxer that wins a fight while being bloody.
Yep.
Right?
Pretty wild. I mean, this guy. So yeah, Jon Jones. We talked about this at the top of the show today, but Jon Jones is out of his main event because he got hurt. But this Pavlovich, he's just walking around South Florida. You know, he's he's enjoying life a little bit too much. Like it's all casual down here, and I think more people need to know that he's like one of the most he's one of the scariest dudes on the planet.
Who's the sneakiest, like just in sports, sneaky scary guy?
Sneaky scary guy.
Because I would say Christian Wilkins.
Yes, because he plays too much. He's just jovial.
Yes, right. Like you think somebody's serious and you putting on your mouthpiece and your helmet and everything, and he's just playing.
I don't know, man.
Who's like a sneaky, like just like smiling and you know what I mean? Because usually the guys who are that way, everybody, like you hear Crowder talk about some of the guys he played with and Tim Bowens or whatever, always like that, right? Just scary.
Crazy, dude.
Right.
So yeah, Jalen Ramsey sounds like he's going to be back. Mike McDaniel will talk to the media a little bit, but he did talk about Ramsey's potential return on Monday, and this is what the Dolphins head coach had to say about that. This is him saying he had a good first week of practice last week.
A great practice week, and I think it's henceforth he got Scout Team Player of the Week on defense. And was in a camo jersey on Friday. So not in the business of crystal balls, specifically with guys returning from injury. So we'll take that a day at a time to make sure we don't get ahead of ourselves. And when he's ready to go, he can't help himself. He will let me know.
You don't like camo jersey for Scout Team Player of the Week? Why not?
Let me tell you something. That's all fine and great. But we all know that man is not here for no damn scout team. You hear me?
I understand.
Okay. So celebrating the Jalen Ramsey winning Scout Team Player of the Week does what? When we just watched some DBs not have their best day.
Yeah. And we watched, if technically he's the Eagles DB in this one, we watched the Eagles DBs cheat a lot. This is Mike McDaniel saying he should be ramping up this week from scout team to first team.
Yeah, I would see that as a natural progression to start garnering reps, and that will be part of the process. That it was the first week, so we tried to keep him away from that. This week, the plan as of today, which is Monday, which is very different than Wednesday. But as of today, Monday, we would start working him into defensive team reps to see how he responds to that, and dust off the old cobwebs.
You have to throw that in there, right? It's not like he made it sound like he just went on vacation, right?
Look, the prognosis was December originally. So yeah, getting back, I guess technically would be like right before November if it's possible. Really good job by Jalen Ramsey.
Do you want him for the KC game or after the KC game?
Oh, I would love him for the KC game.
But you have a bye. So do you give him at least,
I think that's, what, Vlad, to be honest with you, you make a valid point. I think if there's got to be a certain how he looks to where it's not worth playing him when you have additional week where you can make it worse, right? But if he's to a certain point where like that's not going to be a hindrance.
I don't think they would have taken him off.
Play.
Like
Say
that's
it again?
I don't think they would have taken him off IR if they thought that like there was a chance it could get worse. You know?
Well, no. See, when you take him off IR, that means you have 21 days.
Right.
So those 21 days ends after the bye week.
It ends in the middle of the bye week.
The middle of the bye week.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is that you could, depending on how he looks.
You could do it, but
So
I'm just saying I don't think they would have done it that early if they didn't even think there was a chance he could be back for the KC game.
I see what you're saying. The 21-day period starts at the end of 4, or do you have to be put on that 21 days?
It started when he practiced last week.
Right, because they took him off the IR and put him on the
and
21
and I think it ends in the middle of the bye week.
Okay. So that means he has to have played by then.
No, his first game could be the bye. You guys are right on that. I just don't think that they would have brought him back if there wasn't a possibility he could play against New England. Because McDaniel said even last week, he goes, I'm cautiously optimistic he could play before the bye week.
Okay.
So, and now,
now
there's been reports from, I think ESPN said like there's a chance he's going to play this week.
Okay.
Which would be pretty cool.
What?
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
I know.
I mean, he could go out there with one leg in a wheelchair and think he could do better than whew. But here's the problem. I know we talk about the secondary and how banged up they are. But that AJ Brown is a monster.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and you ain't got the only person that even matches up a little bit with him as far as physicality is X, and he was out.
Yep.
So no matter whoever you put back there, if it wasn't X or Jalen Ramsey, they weren't going to be able to handle AJ Brown.
Right.
So
and I know there was a lot of people asking about Cam Smith because Cam Smith, the second round pick, hasn't played yet.
He's not ready,
dude. Like you don't want him getting roasty toasted on national television.
He's not ready. You think they didn't want to put him in there? He's not ready. And it's something to be said about. Here's what I love and hate about sports. I love young guys to get opportunity when they earn it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I hate the whole mantra of just throw him in there, let him learn.
I think
on the
Devon
fly.
A-Chan's kind of ruined it for everybody because he came in here and he lit up the league. But come on,
but here's certain positions, right, where if you play running back
mm-hmm.
and you have good eyes, right, and you have speed, you can plug and play.
Mm.
You see what I mean? Like you don't need, the whole, but if you're a wide receiver or a cornerback or old lineman, there's a lot of things you got to pick up on and learn as far schematically before a coach is ever going to have, the faith. Because guess what? If the running back runs the wrong way, it's a 2-yard loss. If a DB plays the wrong coverage, it's a 60-yard touchdown.
Waddle Baby Waddle says, to be fair, Eli Apple still isn't ready and he's playing.
And they use that line. You ready for the line? Veteran.
Oh, yeah. Here's a little bit more from Mike McDaniel.
Did he play with Jerome Baker?
I think they maybe crossed over for a year.
Okay.
I think we looked this up. I think they crossed over for a year. And here's one more from Mike McDaniel on Jalen Ramsey on if there are any physical setbacks.
There hasn't been any sort of setbacks or there's no concern. It's really just you have a process that you go through and you don't try to get ahead of yourself. So we don't rush the process. We're already, he's done such an unbelievable job in getting to this point that you don't want to, nonsensically just force an issue just because you want him on the field as fast as possible. You got to do right by the team and the player. And but you're right. There's been nothing that's been cause of concern or hesitation so far.
There you go. Sounds like all good news. I guess we'll find out later this afternoon if Jalen Ramsey is with that first team, and Mike McDaniel will speak before practice, see where we're at. We'll get our first injury.
Even if he's with the first team, that doesn't mean anything.
No, but we will get our first injury report today.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll find out if we will get more clarity today for sure. We'll take a quick break, get back into the heat a little bit, and also Cat Talk. Panthers winners last night over the Sharks. Rhino, He is on a tear so far this season.
7 goals
Yep.
in, 6 games?
Pretty crazy. So we'll hear a little bit of Doug Plagan's calls from last night. Back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey,
Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM.
You know you're getting action when you hear this song.
hey,
Cat action.
Beware,
Cat action.
Hey, beware of a girl that has a better mustache than you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's get into some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
The Panthers winners last night as they took out the San Jose Sharks 3-1.
Oh, wait. I had another reason to watch the game. The Panthers called up 2 guys. Both played for Michigan.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. How about that? That's pretty cool.
Did Dookie play? I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, he played.
Yeah, he played.
His
team stinks, though.
His team. Oh, dude, can I just tell you? They play defense, kind of. And for some reason, they don't have a ball handler. Right? They can't never get the puck. I mean, they give up the puck like crazy. So,
and we had a new other goalie last night, Stolars. He's
first of all, he's the biggest human being I've ever seen play goalie.
6'6".
6'6", 240. So they basically went Anaheim Ducks on him, or the Mighty Ducks on him, and just put the biggest guy on the roster in net.
Yeah, especially, and everybody's big next to Bob because Bob's 6 foot skinny.
6 foot 170.
But yeah, let's hear a little bit from last night. Do you have Doug Plagans last night? Vlad, Swaggy, Carter Verhaeghe, after the Panthers got down 1-0 in the second period, a scoreless first. Carter Verhaeghe, he would even things up as he would pick up his 3rd goal of the season for the Cats. And look, man, when Swaggy goes, you got to turn the swag on, man. That's what he does. He's been fantastic. He's been clutch since he's been on the Panthers in his time here. And it's just been, what a stint he's had so far as a Florida Panther. So you got play-ins from last night, Vlad, or they didn't put him in?
I don't think these guys put these highlights in anymore.
Hey, what are we doing here? Like everybody just put stuff in. It is a sports radio station. Let's save some stuff in there from the night, boys.
Uh-oh.
All right, no worries about it, Vlad.
Oh, by the way, what conference did you say we had to pick our bonus game from?
Conference USA.
Okay,
but I mean, it's up for debate. Whatever one you want to go to.
Well, no, we want to pick just rando conference.
We're picking tomorrow though, right? Because we want the Thursday night game.
Yes, we have to.
Okay,
we have to.
Anyway, so Carter Verhaeghe got a goal last night. Then you had Sam Reinhart. He got a goal after that. 7 goals, as Leroy said. Power play for him.
Ekblad didn't play.
Ekblad's hurt, yeah.
He's hurt.
Yeah, he's been hurt. So is Montour. And then our boy Kevin Stunland, who we had on the show 2 weeks ago. He got an empty netter to close things out.
All right.
Here's Carter.
Killing it.
They had here's what I hate about hockey. They had a 2-man advantage and then get a penalty. Right? Now, from what I was watching on TV, it was a shady penalty at best. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was Verhaeghe got a penalty to give it then it became a 4-on-4. I'm like, come on. It's a 5-on-3, baby. They barely play defense. You can light them up.
Oh, man. Crazy. All right, so you had that. And, the Cats will be back at it after getting that win, evening up the old record.
But they got 2 more games at home, right? Is it 4?
They got Seattle coming up on Saturday. The Kraken.
Oh, so we got all the...
And they got a week off?
All the creatures. All the creatures. They played who's their first home game was. They lost to...
They beat the Leafs.
They beat the Leafs.
Lost to the Canucks.
The Canucks.
Beat the Sharks.
Sharks, there we go.
And then we got the Kraken coming up on Saturday.
Kraken.
Then they go on a road trip.
Okay.
Boston, Detroit, Chicago.
Ooh, that's gonna be a
the old original teams taking it on.
I remember when I was at Michigan, Detroit was a powerhouse.
Oh yeah, throwing that octopus on the ice.
Oh, it was now where they played was a dump, but we used to go. It was hard to get tickets because we didn't have jobs and everything, but we managed. We managed to go to a couple of games. We used to go to a couple of Pistons games. It was big fun.
The Cat Talk brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
Yeah, I had to take it easy on this segment because I've been.
Well, it's all that semantic samurai stuff. Got you.
No, it's what it is. It's like he finally met his match, right? And he's like, wow, he met Riley.
I wouldn't even say that Riley. I would say Riley is greater than my match. He's Pat Riley,
right? But
he is the master of semantic.
Right?
Yes.
He left you mesmerized. Like he was like, wait, like look at that. You look through the breaks at that comment. You're like, what is he saying? What is he saying here?
I don't know. He had that
baffled you.
No, the one that baffled me this week was the one about the abyss. I was like,
right, because the abyss is a hole that you can't get out of. So saying we're going to need to get across the abyss is crazy in itself.
I was like, what does he mean with the abyss?
I don't know.
He is whatever. The Heat are back on the hardwood tonight. The season begins.
Bradley is Palpatine. Tobin is a youngling.
The Heat will be back on the court tonight, starting up their season.
That wasn't me. That was RVA Richie.
7:30 tip-off from the Kaseya Center. Coverage on 560 begins at 6:15.
Oh, I can't wait.
Let's hear a little bit from Erik Spoelstra. Erik Spoelstra still gets juiced up with an opening night, even this many years in.
Yeah, can't wait. I love it. I love opening night. I don't think that'll ever get old. There's an excitement, to the season for everybody around the league. We've put in all the time and strategizing and planning for the season. Training camp was really productive, but now we want to get on to the games and the things that really count.
Yeah, it gets going. The Heat, they get this one in, and then they go out there and get back on. They go on the road for a few. So Miami Heat.
Why do you guys always open against Boston on the road?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
And usually it's Orlando at home, right?
It has been Orlando at home. It has been Orlando at home.
But,
I think the last.
But I'll say this. Kudos to the NBA for getting it right.
Well, Denver's going to always get the ring night, but they honored Miami by giving them a home.
Right.
Last year they opened up at home and they opened up against Chicago. That's where I wore the dragon suit for Gogi.
Right. but no, that's what I'm saying. If you go to the finals of your sport, that means you have some type of banner. Whether you choose to have a banner night or not, if you come in second, you probably wouldn't do it here. But you deserve an opening night at home.
Agreed.
You just should.
No, you do. I just don't like the fact that
the Panthers started 3 on the road.
I get that. I just don't understand why
was it like a Bocelli concert? Like what the hell was going on?
I don't know who was performing. But the Heat always first road game of the season always in Boston.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
They will go to Boston on Friday night. Then they got a back-to-back on Saturday night against Minnesota. And then Monday, so 3 and 4 nights.
They got
at Milwaukee.
They got a nice stretch to start the season.
They'll be back at home next Wednesday against Brooklyn, Friday against Washington, and then they'll be back Monday after that hosting the Lakers.
Let me break it down for you. Is it 12 of their first 17 games are on the road?
Yeah, they have a lot of road games to start.
Yep.
A lot of road games to start, dude.
Yep.
So Jaime Jaquez, though, going to be making his NBA debut tonight, most likely, even with a little bit of a banged up groin. Here was Jaime on his excitement level for tonight.
I can't wait. I'm very excited. This is something I've been dreaming about my entire life. Playing my first NBA game with an NBA jersey on, especially for the Heat, in front of all the fans at home. It's gonna be really special.
There you go. We will see number 11 in action tonight and that fantastic hair. Take a quick break. 15 minutes of game day uncensored coming on up. The Miami Dolphins being called frauds all over the place. That's next.
Middle of the weekend, we've got stuff.
15 minutes of game day uncensored.
Let's go! Sponsored by South Florida Lexus Dealers. Experienced amazing.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 15 minutes of game day uncensored, which will be back at it 9 a.m. for this week's matchup against the New England Patriots. Appreciate the boys holding it down without me while I was in New York this weekend. But I'll be back with Omar and Solana.
Updates. The standings. We got like 3 people tied, right?
Yeah, we're all 5 and 4, and Berterer is 4 and 5. Yep.
And she started off with that 3-0 week.
I know. She got cocky. She got cocky. You know what happens when you're a cockatoo? She'll kill you.
Yeah.
It's like right in the crosshairs. We got Rats Off a Ship coming on up. But firstly, we're going to get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover law firm.
Yep.
YourAccidentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
All right. Head over to the window, Plex. It's been quite breezy. It got 15 miles an hour, gusting a little bit more. Out of the out of the east. And it's got to be right around 80, 83 degrees. But
why? Sounds like we're out on the ocean. Bird.
It's pretty windy.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a giant.
Winds are over 15 miles an hour.
Anything ominous out there?
Huh?
Anything ominous?
No. It's just a partly cloudy day. None of the clouds look like they're bringing any trouble.
There you go. How do you do, Vlad?
Once again, Leroy was correct. It's 83 degrees right now.
Man.
90% chance of rain.
Really?
Yeah.
That must be later on in the day.
Maybe it's on the other side. It might be on the other side of the building. Those ominous clouds.
Well, here's how it works here. And this is how it worked for me when we used to golf all over. If you want to golf in the morning, you golf out west. If you want to golf in the evening, you golf east, because usually the storms come off of the ocean and go out west. And depending on how strong the winds are, it usually sits right over western Broward or west, right along the Sawgrass and stuff like that, 75. So that's how we used to determine where we would golf.
Would you like to hear from your favorite guy, Skip Bayless? Haven't heard from him in a while, but he doesn't
talk anymore.
Yeah, I never hear him, but he is calling out the Miami Dolphins. He is calling out Tua Tagovailoa.
For what?
He is for their loss, and he is describing.
He is you know what he is? He is the champion of low-hanging fruit. Like, he goes throughout sports, and as soon as you've had a bad week, a bad day, a bad minute, that's where Skip pounces.
Here is Skip Bayless on the Dolphins' loss to the Eagles.
I got to tell you, last night to me was more about the team that lost 31-17 because it's fraudulent. It's not what everybody raved about what it is. It's just if they can't run the ball at all, if you just say we are going to take all of your sleight of handoff away, all your speed this and your counter this and all the hocus pocus that you try to run the football with, if we take that away and make little Tua stand back there and try to beat us with his arm, he cannot beat you with his arm. And by the way, he got away last night with 4 or 5 completed passes that were just passes and prayers. He just flings it up and it floats and somehow somebody catches it. He was very lucky he didn't have 3 or 4 interceptions last night.
There you go. Little Tua.
Can I just say, the more I hear that man talk, the more I realize we should not be listening to anything he has to say when it comes to football. I believe that because there's a lot of teams out there 5-2 or less. Who's a bigger fraud? Who's a bigger fraud? The Dolphins or the Bills?
The Bills.
Okay.
The Bill. I mean,
why? Because why isn't he saying all that about Josh Allen? Why isn't he saying all that about, they're 4-3. The Dolphins are 5-2. Who cares how you got there? So at the end of the year,
these are the Bills' wins. These are the Bills' wins because they're such, they're now. Remind you, you've called the Dolphins a fraud,
right?
Skip Bayless. The Bills, they've lost. They have beaten the Giants, put up 14 points against them. The Commanders, who I mean, geez, they just lost to the Giants. The Raiders, and of course, their signature win is against the fraud Dolphins, according to Skip Bayless. But you're right. No, who is the bigger fraud? You let me know.
Right.
Just lost to Mac Jones. Idiot.
Exactly. That's my point. So, you mentioning his name.
Yeah. That irritated you?
Very much so.
I'm sorry. But not really. This is exactly the reaction I wanted him to give you. To get mad.
At somebody other than you?
Yes.
Hey, here we go. You can't even hide your
ADHD says, no, Leroy, you don't understand. The Bills have injuries. The Dolphins don't have injuries? They don't have injuries?
Wait. Is he a Bills fan?
I don't know.
Because, have you seen the offensive line for the Dolphins and what they've put out there for the last 2 weeks? Have you seen the secondary?
I don't think anybody should be bitching about injuries.
No, I'm not. I didn't bring it up, Vlad. You've never heard me bring it
I'm
up.
Just saying,
this guy brought it up about the Bills.
Nobody should be bringing it. Everybody's injured. Everybody's banged up.
Of course.
At a key position.
Of course.
So, yeah, let's not bring that up.
Everybody's banged up. Everybody's hurt. But, the idea, the Bill, it's there's always an excuse for that team. You even have their dumb fans who are like, well, Jacksonville got to stay in London. Yeah, okay. What do you think? Trevor Lawrence was having tea at Buckingham Palace? Like he was making himself at home? Idiots.
Are you done?
What?
What
it's just it's enough of that fan base, and it's enough of Skip Bayless.
Now you got enough of Skip
That's
Bayless.
enough of him.
Oh my goodness.
Look, one time.
Can I just tell you?
What?
You left me at the buffet.
That's not fair.
So you could go say hi to Skip.
Those were dark.
You left your
those
boy
were dark times. Those were dark times.
You left your boy to go say hi to Skip?
I thought he was going.
I was going to say hi to Joy.
No, wait. I thought he was going through the line one more time.
I was going to say hi to my former coworker.
I'm sitting here eating some fruit and some eggs, and it was like a long time. I called. He said, "Oh, I had to go see Skip."
I was going to see Joy as my former coworker, former college classmate.
He just let me.
Skip Bayless just happened to be there. Big star.
Hey, Vlad, let me hanging.
I mean, he did wish me a happy birthday.
Oh my God!
I think we have it in there, Vlad, somewhere.
Oh, it's creepy. It's real creepy. It's very.
But those were dark times. Look, I'll admit those were dark ages.
Okay.
Those were the dark ages. Those were the petty years.
No, that's
petty. Tobin is a different. I'm not that guy anymore.
All right.
I'm not that guy anymore.
I got you.
Now I think he's an idiot. And don't call Tua little.
I mean, yeah.
Why are we acting like like people are sitting here? They act like Tua is sitting here just dinking and dunking all over the place.
I know.
Hi, Brendan. This is Skip Bayless, the real Skip Bayless, wishing you a happy birthday.
So
Any friend of Joy Taylor's is a friend of mine. I appreciate your support. I hope you have a great birthday, and I do appreciate you hanging in there with me all these years.
You know what?
Hi, Brendan. You sound like a guy that's saying, "Hi, Brendan. You like me calling you Brendan?" Like that type of guy.
You know what that sounded like? That sounded like a guy that's gonna leave Leroy at the buffet table while you go see him.
Sounds like a guy who's gonna get catfished.
Yep. Come on, man. What are you doing?
Hey, 560, you're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, it's Bert. How's it going?
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? This guy, Skip Bayless, now he got me pissed off. Hey, between him and Stephen A. Smith, I don't know what I mean. They like to get everybody pissed off because saying that Tua throws 2-yard passes. Come on, man. What about that corner pass? That corner touchdown to him.
Tyreek Hill was really pissed. Tyreek Hill was really pissed at Stephen A. Smith. He hosed him down, like that whole thing about him. And it's funny because Tyreek Hill, it was supposed to be a pro Tyreek Hill segment from Stephen A. Smith, And Tyreek Hill's like, I don't want your support. You're hosing down my quarterback.
And I will say this. See, a lot of these guys are just either piling on or just getting to the Tua party, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek has been consistent since the second he got here.
Of course.
So you best believe that when it comes to who's being a fraud and who's not, it's not Tyreek, because they were on Tyreek about saying when he said he's the most accurate quarterback I've ever played with, right? And they jumped down his throat, and he said, wait a minute, man, I didn't say he was the best. I said he was the most accurate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I'm always there's a lot of guys that I might say, look, just let it go or whatever, because that's what they do. But I ain't gonna say that to Tyreek, because Tyreek been consistent since day one. They're the ones who haven't been consistent with this.
I mean, like, look, I'm sure Tua wants that. He had the interception late. There was clearly something going on with the route there, because they were both in the same spot. You had two guys basically right there.
Yep.
You also had, Darius Slay basically maul Mostert.
That didn't count though.
Didn't count. I mean, it should have been first and goal, but whatever.
Yeah.
Not petty over it or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, hey, what is this whole thing where we're gonna look for any opportunity, any crack? Because the Flowers have been there from time to time, but I'm with you. Yeah, I think because everybody was so late to the party, they're waiting and hoping that they can call fraud alert on Tua and call him little and call him, a product of the system and all that type of stuff. And it's just dumb at this point. I just feel like you're at a losing argument with it when it comes to this guy at quarterback. And, you can say a lot of things about this team, but their quarterback is not a problem. He's not.
The scarier thing is that there's been a lot of players that you could learn to hate, right? Just about how their smugness or their arrogance or whatever, right? But the fact that Tua has done nothing wrong, nothing in his whole career, and has handled himself more professionally than some of the people that talk about him. And still, they find every angle or turn. What part of Tua's play did Skip see where he had to go in a small little Tua? Right. Why to that guy? Look, I get it. If a guy, I could understand why some people had a problem with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was more in your face.
Yep.
I can understand that. Right? But there's two guys that the media pick on that I can't imagine why. One is Lamar Jackson, and the other is Tua. They go after him at all costs, right? The third is, well, I'm not going to even say the third, because then but no, there's a third one out there, right? I'm not going to say his name. He might play quarterback for the Vikings, but that's okay. Guy going damn near have numbers to go in the Hall of Fame, and we've been trashing him for 10 years.
It was a good game on Monday.
Well, it's about time he got on. I'm going to say it. It's about time he's had big games, but not in prime time.
He stinks in prime time. But
he's prime time, Kurt. Woo.
He killed it.
He was nice.
He was slinging that thing, man.
It's like, hey, look, if you're going to have a problem with somebody, have a problem with somebody who runs their mouth, who's in your face, but not the good guys who you know what I mean?
I just want to, even if you're a Dolphin fan and you were a skeptic into it and you look at this team and they're good, right? But if you had concerns about this team, where does Tua lie on the list? Because it's got to be, I would think, and even the biggest Tua skeptic or any of those, you have to admit, not very high, offensive line health, secondary health, defensive line. Can you get any pressure?
They're still talking about if Tua can stay healthy. We're in week 8, right? They're still talking about it.
They need something to
now.
Keep
in mind, this is the longest stretch of football he's played. Why not talk about that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why not talk about that? We know down here we've talked for the first 5 or 6 weeks how pleasantly surprised we have been by the O-line and the work they've done. Now they got banged up. Now you got to rotate, move guys around. You barely had a center that could snap the ball back there to the quarterback. And now you have his backup, which is frightening. Still, they're still managing to have some success. Not as good as they did early on in the year, but guess what? Give credit to that line, that defensive line for Philadelphia. Sometimes the other team's better.
We'll take a quick break. Time to get to our favorite Wednesday game. That's next.
Rats off a ship.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQ. What were you bantering about with Gullen during the break?
Because here's what happened. He was under the impression that you like Skip Bayless. And I'm like, he used to, but just like Skip wears on everybody, he has turned.
Yeah, it was a dark time. He was the only guy who had the Heat's back with LeBron going to Cleveland. I should have known, like, hey, listen, I understand the agenda that was at hand there.
It was the anti-LeBron. He's always been that.
Yes.
And you jumped on.
You know, trying.
But no, I was more explaining how you just left me at the buffet to go say hi to Skip.
I didn't go. I went to go say hi to Joy. I didn't even meet Skip.
That is not true.
Swear to God, I didn't even meet him.
Oh,
the show was going on. I remember distinctly Floyd Mayweather Sr. was there. Great show.
Now all of a sudden you didn't see Skip.
I didn't.
You skipped back to the hotel room because you had saw Skip.
I saw him, but I didn't meet him. I saw him, but I didn't meet him.
I got to meet my idols.
Hi, Brendan.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, guys.
How are you?
How are you?
Doing well, doing well.
Ready for another Heat season.
Always excited for a Heat season.
Did you see your man Namdi last night?
Bum.
No, because I was at the Florida Panthers. People who actually play for us.
Oh, wait. You were at the Panthers game?
I was.
Right down the street. You didn't even come say hi.
What do you want me to do at like, almost midnight? Hey, Leroy.
Leroy. See Rhino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, man. All right, J Fig, do you have what we have today for Rats Over Ship?
Yes.
What do we got?
All right, number one, Deshaun Jackson's wide receiver Mount Rushmore.
Deshaun Jackson. Okay. What's his Mount Rushmore?
You got Jerry Rice,
Pretty
Randy
good.
Moss,
Pretty good.
Yep.
Marvin Harrison,
He's good.
He's good.
and himself.
Really?
Hey, I appreciate his confidence, but no. No.
And himself.
Rats off a ship. There's like, come on. First of all,
I mean, he's good.
He's good.
He's good.
Here's the deal. First of all, you can go old school before you go him. Like just the old school guys. Dude,
there's like 70 other receivers before him.
My thing has ED.
Yeah. I can see it. It's been in there.
Oh,
Excuse
man.
me?
Erectile dysfunction.
It's got
Clearly.
I need somebody get that number from Joe so I could call him and see if they could come over and fix this. Yes. Look, watch.
Where's that place?
Here. You can only hold it up so long and then
it goes limp. It goes
What'd
limp.
you do?
I didn't do nothing.
It needs a blue.
I mean, it was fine the entire show.
Yeah, I need a blue monster, something.
It needs a. Go to the gas station, get him a Rhino pill.
Let's see.
Wait.
He's 37th all time in receiving yards.
Yeah. Look, I'm telling you. Look.
Oh, you gonna fix his mic?
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Tobin's gonna help with
See?
Leroy's eating.
See? Told you.
You need a golden seal.
Put a wedge.
Look at this.
Oh man.
Look at
Now we
that.
got blue lip. Hey, Len, fix it.
Fix it.
Anyway.
We got look at all the little arms and stuff we got on this thing. Anyway. Wait, so he's 37th on the list. Let's just go up from 37 to 30 and who's ahead of him?
Keenan McCardell.
Keenan.
Rod Smith.
Smith. Okay.
Muhsin Muhammad.
No, he's not.
Oh, yeah.
He's not better than Deshaun.
Megatron.
Better. All time.
Megatron.
Top 5. Dead or alive.
Megatron is if you had Megatron,
He's top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah, he's top 5.
He just didn't play.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Because you know
way
Megatron, does Megatron still have the
he has
the receiving yards.
Yes, that's what Tyreek's trying to beat.
Right. Because nobody did 2,000. He's did 1,964. Or did Cooper Kupp beat him? I think Cooper Kupp got close. Cooper Kupp got 1941, and I think Megatron has 1964.
Let me check.
So, come on. Is Tyreek already past him? Because Tyreek is the same level of dynamic.
No, Tyreek Hill has not passed him yet.
Okay.
But could he pass him this year?
With 2,000?
Probably.
Wait, what? Deshaun Jackson's best year was what? 1,300 yards?
He's going to pass. Tyreek Hill's going to pass him.
Here we go.
Most likely.
Top 5 best season receiving yards. Calvin Johnson in 2012, 1964, 1,964. Cooper Kupp, Triple Crown in 2021, 1,947.
47.
Julio Jones in 2015, 1,871. Jerry Rice in 1995, 1,848. And 5th is Antonio Brown, 1,834.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
And this is mind-boggling. Did we forget how good Antonio Brown was because he was a knucklehead?
Oh, no, we knew how good he was.
No,
it was just that he was so much of a knucklehead.
Wait, 1,800 yards for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, Leroy.
To answer your question, yes.
Yeah, Leroy, guess what?
But in fairness, he gave deuces to his own team and left.
And
no, I know.
Didn't he also run naked through the
Ross bit his feet.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
In a chamber.
Yeah.
He recorded his head coach and put it out on YouTube.
Right.
Everything wasn't all dead. And by the way, nobody forgot how good Antonio was as a receiver. It was just the craziness that he was doing outside.
Anyways,
okay, yeah.
Superseding that.
But look, respect to Deshaun Jackson for having belief in himself, but rats off a ship on him being a Rushmore receiver.
That sounds like something that would be said on Michael Parsons' podcast.
Rats off a ship.
Right.
Man. Does anybody disagree with Deshaun Jackson or agree with
The only
Deshaun
reason why I would disagree is because you got to admire the confidence.
It is confidence, J-Fig. You are right.
There's stupidity also.
I mean, listen.
Well,
like you can be arrogant and you could be cocky, but at some point you got to have some facts to base all of this on, right? Or at least have an argument. What is his argument?
I don't know.
I don't know.
His only argument is
because
Rushmore.
Here's Deshaun Jackson was always just a deep threat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of receivers that have his ability that do a lot of other things nowadays. So yeah, fix it.
His mic arm doesn't work. I gotta put a stand under.
You
it.
think you're gonna fix this with your muscles?
Lad!
Tobin,
What happened?
look, what?
It just
Were you like moving?
No, I didn't touch it. It just dropped.
He was.
Nobody.
Because
that's just the volume that he's at.
it's the volume.
I love you.
Maybe he needs moisturizer.
All right, but can we consider this us writing a ticket?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's nice.
Anyway, what else do we have, J-Fig, on Rats Off a Ship?
ESPN Analytics having Tyreek Hill, the 16th best wide receiver in the NFL this year.
Their analytics say that 16th.
C.
Can I just say this?
Rats Off a Ship.
Let me ask you a question.
Rats
Of
off a
all
ship.
those other 15 guys, defenses are really afraid of Tyreek Hill. I don't know who's above him. They're just part of an offense. They treat Tyreek Hill like he is the offense.
I have this list that they have. I don't know what this formula is that they have with him.
Oh, Smeathan said hi, Lynn, in his own little Smeathan way. Hey, Lynn, go to hell. That means both hello and goodbye.
This is what they include tight ends in this too, but there's only 2 tight ends, Kittle and Kelsey. So 16 Tyreek Hill, 15 Kittle, 14 Kelsey, Garrett Wilson of the Jets, 13, Mike Evans, Kendrick Bourne from the Patriots.
Wait a minute.
Keenan Allen they have above Tyreek Hill. Chris Godwin they have above Tyreek Hill. Jamar Chase, who spent half the year bitching about how much he's not getting the ball, he's above Tyreek Hill. Adam Thielen, intangibles.
Who's number one?
AJ Brown. They actually got that right, probably.
Yeah,
he's good.
He's good.
CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, Nathaniel Dell. These are those that duo in Houston. DJ Moore and Brandon Ayuk from San Francisco. But like,
there's no way. Wait, if I had a
all
draft,
of those guys,
if I had a draft right now, and I tell you, you have your pick of any of these receivers, there's only maybe 2 or 3 that you would even consider before Tyreek Hill.
Agreed.
If you don't take Tyreek Hill first, AJ Brown would be one of them because that dude's a moose.
Mm-hmm.
But who else? Like, so here's what I love about analytics. You have a guy that can legitimately get 2,000 yards and do something that nobody else in the sport has done, and you have him ranked 16th. Like, it's asinine.
So rats off a ship?
Yes, some rats off a ship.
Absolutely, rats off a ship.
Rats off a ship.
What?
Absolutely. Come on, man. Come on. How's Tyreek 16 because of some brainiacs? Man, get these geeks out of my face, man.
Enough of this.
Enough of these nerds.
Are you guys ready for number 3?
Yeah, number 3.
All right, this one's very crucial. Bradley Beal.
No.
You
no.
What? Hey,
no.
Keep it moving. Go
keep
to
it
the next
moving.
one.
Next.
Go to the
keep
next
it
one.
moving.
Because I know you're about to get in trouble.
I want to hear what he has to say.
Right.
No, you don't.
haven't heard the first 2 hours?
But you guys can talk.
If I hear what he has to say,
I'm
he
right
has to
off
go
the ship.
immediately.
I'm rats off the ship.
There we go.
Pass for me, but you guys got to answer.
I said
We're-
rats
yeah,
off
we
the
said
ship.
We're rats. We're rats.
Oh, man.
That's
Interesting.
it. That's
an
it.
interesting opinion.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is an interesting opinion.
All right.
Why do you guys have that
number
opinion?
No.
Why do you have
Four. Number 4. Fruit snacks as Halloween candy.
Fruit snacks. Like, you mean the candy fruit? Like the gushers and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
do you mean actual fruit?
No,
Both.
no. Like, okay.
Real fruit? So apples and
Like the Welch's, maybe?
If you give away
Oh.
apples, I'm going to say this, and I mean this
no.
lovingly.
No,
If-
I don't. I don't.
If you give away apples for trick-or-treaters, you're a serial killer.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
you got
this.
problems.
You got
The
problems.
one night of the year, I'm looking forward to stuffing my face with candy. If I go trick-or-treating and you bring some snacks over to my house and it is anything close to health, you gots to go. I'm telling you. I'm talking about I don't even want a candied apple. Don't try to disguise a piece of fruit with some candy around it.
What candy is
Nothing.
allowed for Halloween?
With
Skittles?
candies?
Skittles and Starbursts?
Yeah, you
Skittles,
can do that. You can
That's
do
it.
that.
That's the only
Starburst.
Sour Patch
But that's
Kids.
it.
Sour
That's it.
Patch Kids.
Those are the only
No,
fruit
no, no.
candies.
Oh,
I'm-
fruit candies? Yeah.
I'm more along the lines of the chocolate variety.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. But
Yeah.
there's just certain
Oh,
maybe fruit
yeah.
flavored candies
The
that
other
are
thing-
passable.
Hey, don't buy that value pack with dark chocolate in it. Look,
You're not a
this ain't
fan of
that
dark
type-
chocolate?
This
Yeah,
ain't
don't be cheap
this
with the
ain't that,
Snickers.
this ain't that type of party, right? We ain't trying to no. Oh man. Now,
Is it because it's closer to health or something?
no. I just it's bitter. Now
I
here's
like
the
it.
thing though. Here's the thing. Like fruit snacks, like you talk about the Welchers and the
Yeah.
no.
Welch's is
Not
good.
five.
I like Welch's.
You hand that to the 5-year-olds to make them think they're eating candy, but they're really not eating. You break it down. You have some serious chocolate, some serious candy, and then you go with the little children fruit snacks that they bring to lunch, right? So they can mix it up a little bit and not be all sugared up that night. So I get that. But for adults, yeah, fruit roll-ups too. If you put a fruit roll-up in my bag,
I'm gonna roll
it's-
you up.
It's go time.
What? A fruit roll up? Those are
No!
good. I
That's
used to love
disgusting.
those.
No, yes. First of all, I'm not pulling candy off of a little piece of paper.
This ain't Little League baseball.
That's
Don't
the
give me no
fun
damn
out of
fruit
it.
roll up.
What happened to Leroy? I still eat my apple a day. I eat it.
He just doesn't do the bit on the show.
I just don't do it at home.
Which
Like
is kinda
sometimes.
strange.
Well, wait. Here's the deal.
It is a strange.
Sometimes when I'm driving to work,
You keep it a
I
bit
eat
to
the
yourself.
apple. I eat the apple in the car.
I understand, but you're
Wait.
keeping the bit to yourself.
Tobin, do you have a stripper in your neighborhood?
Do I have a what?
A stripper?
Are they referring to the
Yes.
stripper at Halloween?
Yeah.
That did happen.
Ooh, I might have to trick or treat around your neighbor.
Come on, man.
All right, everybody. That is Rats Off a Ship. Final hour of the show coming on up back after this.
WQAM broadcast.
Ooh, solid question from Josh on YouTube. Did they talk about Leroy's Michigan corruption and how if it was the Canes, the media would ask for the death penalty? He's right about that. If that was the Canes doing that sign stealing, they would ask them to be eradicated off the face of college football.
I think people are still trying to figure out what they're doing, right?
Stealing, dude.
I guess.
Stealing.
I guess.
Stealing. Up to no good, those Michigan Wolverines, but nobody's going to say a peep. But if it was the Canes, that being said, Mario, if you need to go steal some signs, do whatever it takes. Don't lose to Virginia. To get us some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Miami Heat are starting their season tonight as they welcome in the Detroit Pistons. 7:30 tip from the Kaseya Center. Coverage on WQAM begins at 6:15 with the Miami Heat audio experience. Solana, Tommy Tighe, Jason Jackson, Amy Audibert. You guys can hear all of their coverage tonight here on 560. No Jay Rich, no Haywood Highsmith. Haywood Highsmith has a knee sprain. Jay Rich dealing with some foot pain, so they will miss the season opener. Shout out, by the way, to Israel Gutierrez, the only one who had the guts to pick the Heat this year in the Eastern Conference. Out of all the expert picks, everybody either went Bucks or Celtics, except for Bobby Marks, who did pick the Knicks to go to the finals. Idiot.
Good job, Bobby.
Bobby picked Knicks over Celtics in 7. Israel Gutierrez, he's got Heat over Bucks in 6. Listen, that's guts, Izzy. I appreciate it, dude. Good for you. I love it. I love it. You know what? Who cares who calls us a bunch of front running homers? Whatever they want to say, Izzy. They just know. You just answer them back. Say, I just got the guts, dude. That's what the truth of it is.
I got the guts.
Damian Lillard, he told Fox Sports that he and Jimmy Butler spoke privately after the trade to Milwaukee happened. He said they talked about how everything went down, and Lillard stressed that he has a deep admiration for Jimmy Butler. We've always been in some form of contact with each other, and I said initially I was like, I want to go to Miami. He was a big part of that. It didn't happen. I'm here now, but the relationship will be the same respect. It's just something that didn't happen. And it was out of his control and mine. That's nice, Dame, but I got to tell you, like, look, if somehow you get switched on Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, he's still going to scream in your face. So just be wary of that, dude. Just be wary of that. Did you see our boy Wes Goldberg? He did a piece for The Ringer.
The
Ringer with Tyler Herro. He did an interview with him, and Tyler Herro said in this, he says that he not only is one of the best young scorers in the league, he believes that one day he could be the best scorer in the league. Do you think that's a crazy thing to say?
For
Tyler, I'm one of the best young scorers in the league, and I have the potential to be the best scorer in the NBA at some point.
Like he's averaging 20 plus now.
20 plus now.
So he's gonna raise his 11 points. He's gonna raise his average 11 points.
I'm just saying, you can't say he's
Riley.
Like when you get to your prime, 26, 27, how much growth is he going to have?
I'm saying, I mean, to become one of the leading scorers in the NBA, you're going to have to average 30 to 31 points a game. He's averaging 20. So
it was interesting because Pat Riley
and 3 more years from now? Yeah, why not?
Pat Riley was saying in his bevy of interviews on the things about his team, not about the whaling, that he thinks that somebody on the team needs to average 25 this year. Now, the Heat had last year Jimmy Butler, who averaged about 23 points a game. Tyler Herro, just over 20. Bam Adebayo, just over 20. So they had 3 players average over 20. Which I think Eric Reed said. I think I heard him on Joe say that's the first time that's happened in Heat history.
Yes, obviously, yeah. So
that's
not even the big 3.
Not even the big 3.
That last year was the first time the Heat had 3 players average 20 points for a season.
To think that anybody could take that leap, I would say Tyler is the most likely guy because the improvement for him, first of all, he didn't average more than he did the year before when he was 6th man of the year, where he was closer to almost 21 points per game. But I think the thing that's going to be interesting for him is he going to shoot more 3? He seems to know the formula. Shoot more 3s, get to the free throw line a little bit more just to become a more efficient player. Because the shot attempts are there for him. Like he's out of Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler. He takes the most shots, Tyler Herro.
Well, here's the problem. Like, we need to give room for growth.
Yeah.
And like, we sitting here and we do this. We have this conversation a lot that why is this the end of the road? Why is this the best? Has any player ever been the best they're going to be at age 23?
You don't even know they're going to be Andrew Bynum?
LeBron James.
So you think the best LeBron was when he was 23?
Probably 25.
Maybe 33.
I'm just saying.
Might
right?
be 43.
Like, you see what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, if he's averaging 20 now and they want him to shoot more and be more effective and get to the foul line, just think about this. Let's start here. He does everything the same, but he gets 5 more free throws a game, right? Which will put him around 7 or 8. Just 5 more free throws. You're at 25 already. That's not even count what kind of scorer you're going to be when you improve there. If you're just more aggressive in the fourth quarter and get to the foul line 5 more times a game, which is what they want him to do, now we're somewhere around 25 points.
Yeah, I think if he just gets there 5 times a game, like I think you're like going from under 3. He needs to get like being under 3 attempts a game is
he needs to be around 7, 8. That's the minimum.
8's a lot. 8's in Jimmy territory.
Well, no, Jimmy's around 10
in the playoffs. I'm talking like regular season. Well, I'm not even talking playoffs right now. I'm trying so much time, so much time to get there. I'm just saying, like, for him, if he could get to even Bam's territory of getting over 5, 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that'd be huge.
But we're talking about a guy who's going to be point guard.
Mm-hmm. No, he's going to have the ball.
Right.
The ball's going to be in his hands.
Right.
He's not going to be like. There's no. Like Tyler Herro gets his shots. He's been getting his shots. It's just a matter of what are those shots going to be, and can he be a more efficient player?
Right.
That's going to be the interesting thing. That's going to be where the growth is, because I think everybody acknowledges, man, the dude's a sniper. I mean, he is a sniper from 3. He's got all those little sweet spots on the floor that he works on with the runner, the float, the mid-range game, all that stuff. Like there's not really a place you don't feel comfortable with him shooting, but it is a question of, can he make quicker decisions? Can he do things at a more prompt pace? Can he get to the rim more?
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be the interesting thing. Like that's where you're right. Like as a 23, when a 22 turning into 23 this year, what is or 23 turning into 24 this year, what is going to be, you know, the place where he does make that leap and does do a little bit more? Because I tell you, with Bam, like it's easy to see. Like you do see, like the guys not only was getting to the free throw line more, but his free throw shooting just improved greatly. Yeah. He worked on that.
Well, because that's one of the things that, you know, look, if you're going to play in the paint like that, you can't be a hindrance on the foul line, because then they'll just foul you and make you obsolete. You obsolete and take you out of the game.
I think the goal Bam set for himself on shots last year was like 18 a game, and he wasn't that. He was at 15 but last year. So, but Pat Riley he's putting it on those 2 guys. Like if you guys are going to be these foundational pieces, like it's great, I guess, to have the beauty and the balance that they've had. But I think when you're talking about scoring 25 points a game, like we need you to one of you guys needs to put up star numbers a game. Because this is always like
it'll be easier
for Tyler
because he has the ball more, right? A guy that can play off the ball, a guy that can create his own shot. He'll have more opportunities, right? To get Bam to 18 that would be a small feat in itself, right?
Schmieden Schmelnick says Tyler works on his float. Tobin works on a root beer float.
Hey, guess who reported to camp?
Who?
Point for
Harden.
I thought he already reported to camp. What do you mean camp? The season starts tonight.
He can't he doesn't want to get fined $398,000 a day.
Yeah.
Hold on. James Harden. Because I'm reading a bunch of James Harden stuff. I thought that I thought he reported and they told him to stay home.
No, he reported and he decided not to go to practice.
I guess I was wrong.
It is raining.
A lot. Sideways.
Nice. Shams says James Harden returned to Philadelphia on Tuesday night with his bags packed to join the team on the road Thursday for the Bucks and Saturday for the Raptors. but the 76ers have now asked him not to travel with the team, sources said.
What?
So they're telling him to stay home. Well, you can't find him if you're telling him.
You can't find him if he's there to join you for the flight and he has his bag packed, then you tell him not to go.
First of all, that was the plan all along.
Of course.
There probably wasn't nothing in there but the little paper stuffing in the bag. Right?
You're crazy. There was some money in there. He's going whatever. They might have some nice clubs in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Wow.
Well, maybe he'll go to Chicago and then fly to Milwaukee.
All right, we'll take a quick break. You guys can get us 305-567-0560. Back with more for this.
WQA.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy. Take you up until 2 o'clock here. Some NFL news that has just come across the wire. Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com. She is reporting that Kevin Stefanski says P.J. Walker will start at quarterback this week for the Browns. Deshaun Watson out this week. So there you go, Deshaun Watson. What's going on over there? Because you do Cleveland radio every week, right?
Yeah.
And you have a very mixed bag of emotions, I would say, of people who are like, hey, this guy makes $230 million, get your ass out there. Last week he took like one of those Tua hits where he hit the back of his head, cleared concussion protocol,
But
still didn't
he also
play.
landed on the shoulder.
Yeah. So
listen.
I guess basically my question is, what the hell's going on with this guy?
The problem started with Kevin Stefanski. Now, what you need to understand is why Kevin Stefanski said what he said. At no point in time was Deshaun Watson on the injury report because everybody was under the impression he was going to play.
Right.
Then at the last minute, he couldn't play. And Kevin Stefanski came out and said, well, he was cleared, which means absolutely nothing, right? Jalen Ramsey has been cleared, right? That doesn't mean you could play. But for some reason, because Kevin Stefanski said that, everybody thought that Deshaun Watson was being soft.
Yeah.
And that's not the case at all. He has an AC joint problem, and he throws a ball with that arm. So he waited a week, bye week, comes back. This past week, did you see the first pass he threw?
Oof.
Right. And I'm like, why is he out there? And probably because of the pressure of everybody, because of what Kevin Stefanski said earlier, everybody's under the assumption that the only reason why he's not playing is because he's being soft. But I promise you, you ask anybody who throws a ball what it's like throwing a ball with an AC joint or swelling in your AC joint. It's not good. And that's also not to say we don't know what the level or the extent of the injury is.
No, we have no. That's why I'm confused by all this, because like
the whole problem was the way it started. Kevin Stefanski ruined. Like if he would have said, "Yeah, it's an AC joint. It's kind of a day-to-day thing. We don't really know the severity of it, but there's some swelling in there. We got to let it calm down." If he would have said that, then everybody would have had a better understanding of how serious or how long it may take to heal. But the fact that he came out and said
it's weird.
He's been cleared
it's not only that, but,
to play, then you're making this basically saying our quarterback is soft.
Well, I know but he's technically been cleared twice now, because he was cleared to play, and then he was in what was thought of as concussion protocol. He was cleared that, but they didn't put him back in, whether it be arm or head.
Right.
So it's now looked twice like, oh, Deshaun Watson technically could have played, but he didn't, and everybody's kind of confused by it.
Right. Well,
that's why
it's just understand that throwing a football and being able to throw the football the way you throw a football, like some quarterbacks have never had a strong arm. So guys like Chad Pennington hurt their arm. You know, like it's not like he lost the howitzer. But Deshaun Watson has a strong arm. He relies on that arm to make plays.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see him throw the ball and you realize, now he's throwing it like Drew Brees, that ain't who he is. So his mind, his decision-making is not built on having an arm like Drew Brees. It's built on having an arm like Deshaun Watson. So if he can't throw like Deshaun Watson, he ain't going to be making good decisions. You can't all of a sudden see things like, a guy who doesn't have an arm. You can't do it.
D Sizzle says, thank God the Dolphins didn't pull the trigger on the Watson deal. Yeah, it's looking like a disaster right now. It is.
I don't know yet. I'm not ready to say that. Like I will say this. He did have a good week. He got hurt that week.
$230 million though, dude.
I know.
$230 million
But you
guaranteed.
can't listen. You can't do anything about injuries. Okay? Like we can make it whatever you want to make it. You can make it about the money. You can make it about all the stuff that Deshaun Watson has done. You can make it about all these other things. But here's the issue. You cannot make it about anything other than his health.
But it's kind of like what we were talking about to start the show with Jon Jones, right? It's like Jon Jones is not a guy that has a lot of good credibility. So it's like, oh, he's already, blown up how many cards because of behavior or drug tests. Deshaun Watson's already missed time for
off the field. Off the field stuff.
I understand.
This is not
but he's off the field. He already had the suspension. He already had the rust card. He already had the behavior card. He already had the sit out and hold out with the Texans. And now he's hurt on top of it. It's adding, it's adding injury to insult.
It's a series of unfortunate events. But here's the other thing.
Because I think when
the guy did play with a torn ACL in Houston. So you can't really question his toughness that much. Now, you add all the other things, right? And then you could come to that conclusion, but I'll keep them separate. I mean, an injury is an injury. I can't do anything about that. Like, we can't do anything about that. Is the timing terrible? Yes. Is he making a lot of money? Yes. All those things.
Everything with him is going to be every optics of him is going to be bad because since he's gotten to Cleveland, all the optics have been bad. The way that they had to handle all the statements were bad. The way that he handled the apologies was bad. Like, and it's crazy to think about, like, where this was from the time when the Dolphins were in the midst of trying to, get him or pursue him, or Brian Flores was trying to pursue him as their quarterback to where he is now, because now it looks like one of the worst. I mean, probably maybe Russell Wilson's the only one that maybe people would look at and say that's a worse deal in the league than his deal right now.
Right.
Because you don't look, the Browns have a good team. They have a good team. You thought this was supposed to be the final piece. You can't really feel great about knowing Deshaun Watson's going to ever return to that guy, because it's just a hope and a prayer right now that he's going to ever be that guy again.
I'm like, here's how I look at things, though. You're stuck with him.
Yeah.
Make the best of it.
Which they're not doing.
Which, again, I have the same problem sometimes with what Kevin Stefanski said as I did with Brian Flores, right? Brian Flores Tua didn't ask to be brought here.
Right.
You drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't you give him all the resources to get as best as he possibly can and produce for your franchise?
Mm-hmm.
Brian Flores did not do that, right? I'll say the same thing about Deshaun Watson. Now, there's some different level here, is that he did choose to come to Cleveland when you gave him that $230 million.
Paid handsomely.
He got paid handsomely. So there's
because he didn't want to be in Cleveland.
There's other circumstances that play a role in it. But if it gets down to it, Deshaun Watson's going to be here. And if you got to make a decision, the coach will not. Right? Because that $230 million ain't going away.
Mm-hmm.
So why not make the best of it? Like,
but he's not. But that's the thing. When you say these things about Stefanski, he's not making the best of it. He's making the worst of it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying. Shouldn't the coach or the organization be handling these situations with kid gloves more than anybody else?
Yeah.
That's the only problem that I have with this, is that if Kevin Stefanski had started the conversation any different than he did, and that means,
what was the last time he was healthy? Was it week 3?
Yeah, when he had that
good game.
Right.
Okay, so
he got hurt that game.
He got hurt against the Titans. That's when that happened.
Right.
No. Yes.
So that when Kevin Stefanski comes out and Deshaun Watson doesn't play, right? And the first thing he says is he was cleared to play. That means that this conversation and this injury is never going to get the time for Deshaun Watson to get healthy, because you have put him on notice about his injury. And that's
like to compare it, like Mike McDaniel is almost like overly cautious and not saying anything about a timeline whatsoever.
Right.
And he actually made the point this week with Ramsey. He goes, the reason you don't, the reason he doesn't do that, I'm paraphrasing, but he said the reason that he doesn't do it is as soon as you miss that timeline, you feel like you're losing something.
Right.
So that's the reason why he's so overly cautious in doing that. So,
but most coaches are. Most coaches are. Like, most coaches are very protective of their players, the timeline. Stop. Because here's one thing another coach will do. If you notice, coaches will never allow somebody to comment on the toughness of one of their players, right? But Stefanski just put it out there. So now you got players, you got fans, you got everybody. Hell, I do a show with a guy who thinks Dr. Clearly should have played. A guy who played football.
Rub some dirt on it, dude. Get out there.
Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. Especially at quarterback. Then now keep in mind, we do a lot of things for a lot of other positions. But at quarterback, we're a little more lenient because that dude's got to be able to protect himself and he's got to be able to throw the football. If you can't do one or the other, you can't be out there because you're going to hurt the team. So, yeah, man.
Pretty wild, man. It has not been it is either way, all this stuff, it has not been a great run so far with this whole experiment.
Hasn't been good because here's what he hasn't had. He hasn't had that run where he could get some continuous work, continuous health, continuous progress. It's always been broken up by something or something else.
Well, look, and Stefanski, I don't know what his job security is in Cleveland or where it's at right now or his popularity, but like, listen, you're at a point, you're years in, and you're in a tough division with a lot of expectations.
Right.
You see the Ravens are good. The Steelers are still good because they're the Steelers. They're zombies. You know, the Bengals, you think they'll get things right. So it's a very, very tough division.
And I will say
there's a lot of pressure on that.
I will say this. The team has rallied behind Kevin Stefanski, which is something that has never happened before now. Right? So,
but when you say they're rallying behind Kevin Stefanski, that also feels like they're not rallying behind their quarterback, which is a little strange.
It again, because what their coach said. Like, if you're a player and you hear that, cleared to play, right? When you hear cleared to play, right? It's like cleared to do full activities. That's what they say with the Dolphins. That doesn't mean you're healthy enough to play. But if somebody takes that the wrong way and you get the attitude about why isn't he playing, right? You're going to immediately feel that way. That's why a lot of coaches are very protective over injuries because they don't want you to get the wrong impression that their guy's not tough.
We'll take a quick break, wrap things up on the other side, streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM. More Tobin and Leroy after this.
Speech. First of all, I want to thank my connect.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2. We got Heat basketball tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Night.
The season is back.
Go ahead, say your thing. Say your thing.
What is my thing?
Boots on the ground, baby.
I am boots on the ground tonight. I can't wait. I'm not wearing the Erik Spoelstra film shirt, though. That would be because that would make me a fan with good access, which I'm not at these games. I'm all business at these games.
You ready for this? Al Mackey says, Leroy is in a toxic relationship with Cleveland football. You can't turn a poverty franchise into a housewife.
He's right about that.
Listen, here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing about my football life. I had more success as a professional player in Minnesota.
You had more success as a player than as a fan?
No, as a player. I'm just saying.
That to Charles Davis.
As a player, I had more success in Minnesota. But forever, I am known as a Cleveland Brown. I can't outrun it, so I just embrace it. Hey, Tobin is Jay-Z.
I'm really hungry right now. ZD would be great.
That does sound very good.
Sweet. That's a winner. That's a winner right
He's good. But no, we are. Yes, I am boots on the ground tonight, which means professionalism to the fullest. That's how I roll, Leroy. First of all, I'm a couple of things. All right, if I'm not you could say a lot of things about Brendan Tobin, but you could always say a couple of things. One, I'm a professional.
Fraud.
What? Excuse me?
A professional fraud?
No, I'm not. I am a professional, not a fraud.
Samurai.
Huh.
Sometimes.
No, it's coming. Sometimes. It's coming. Listen, it's coming.
With what?
You know with what?
With what?
When you try to wiggle out of he who shall not be named.
I just want to say a few things.
Oh, you mean Bradley Beal?
Yeah.
No, don't say his name.
We can say it.
You guys can say it.
We can say it.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to talk about that person
initials.
that you're talking about. I don't even want to talk about that
BB?
at all. Do you want to know what I do? You want to talk about? I want to talk about my guys, the guys who I roll with. Okay, I don't care about that guy you're talking about. I don't care about Damian Lillard anymore. I'm a changed man. Okay,
You're talking about him.
Starting 5 tonight.
Starting 5.
Starting 5.
Bam.
Yep.
Jimmy.
Yep.
Tyler.
Yep.
K-Love.
Yep.
Love. K-Lo. Yeah, you nailed it.
Okay.
You nailed
So
it.
we got. So Jimmy's gonna play the 3. K-Love's gonna play the 4.
Yeah.
Bam's gonna play the 5.
Mhm.
And then you go
Backcourt.
Backcourt is
Low Dog,
Tyler and
Herro.
Tyler.
Yep.
So that means Tyler is gonna be more of a spot up guy, right?
Yeah. This is all stuff that Erik Spoelstra doesn't really believe in, though. He doesn't.
I know he doesn't.
He doesn't believe in positions
because you got 4 guys that can bring the ball up the court.
He doesn't believe in that stuff. And then you're gonna have K-Love who's gonna do that thing where he throws the ball down the court. I love when he does that.
You're doing it.
But I just want to say a few things.
You do this. You do
Saw
this.
that face.
He do. You're right. No, because he look. You don't understand. He looks at me.
Can I just say a few things though? Can I
Sure,
just
go
say-
ahead.
First of all, I want to say these are my guys. I'm not harpooning anymore. I'm not dwelling anymore on the past.
Right.
We let it die because
Right.
tonight we are at the abyss, which means we look upon the
You
vastness that
didn't
is
even
this season.
understand it when he said it.
I know what he said, J-Fig. I've thought about it a little bit. And I know what Pat Riley was saying about the abyss. And the abyss is we are here. The basketball season, in a lot of ways, J-Fig, is an abyss. It is a long
It
season.
can't be.
82
The
games.
definition of abyss means you can't get out of it.
Dude.
It's a never-ending hole.
It seems like you can, but you can cross the abyss. And what I've realized
Really?
about this,
Really?
there's no more whales. There's no more whales. There's no more.
The fact that he has to say this
I'm not asking
all
you.
the time to
What are you
convince
doing?
himself.
The thing keeps.
What, you're like trying to hold the snap. The point is, look,
No.
we are at the abyss.
I'm gonna ask this.
I don't need you to look. I know what he means.
You cross an abyss.
This is loud
Spell it.
Googling.
Huh?
Anyway, the point is, we are at the abyss. We are staring at the abyss of this Heat championship window. Okay, Tyler, listen to me, dude. Tyler Herro. All these people who wanted to trade you in the offseason, all right? They wanted to trade you for Damian Lillard. They wanted to trade you even for Brad, certain other people, and they wanted to trade you for a ham sandwich. You want to know what you do when they said they would trade you for a ham sandwich? You show them a real sandwich, all right? You show them a hero. You go out there. You light this season up, dude. You put all the doubters to rest, Tyler. That's in your hands. Bam. What is this? This disrespect you get every year, huh? Jaren Jackson Jr., better defender. Evan Mobley, better defender. Alex Caruso, better defender. This is your chance. That depoy is right there for the taking, all right? Nikola Jovic, you say you play with all these grown men. You've now felt the burn of heartbreak, of being at the bitter end. You've crossed the abyss nearly for Serbia. And then you lost to Germany.
Can I just say?
Hold on. Jovic.
Just shoot me.
You also. Did you hear what they said about him this summer, Leroy? People wanted to trade him for Damian Lillard.
When you mean people, you mean you.
It's time to shut those people up, Nicola. It is.
You mean them, you mean you.
You do two things. You've made your mom proud. You graduated high school. Now it's time to graduate Heat school and crack this rotation and give us some big minutes, okay? Listen to man, Nicola, but also make sure you go to college because you never know. Basketball isn't forever. All right, get out of here, Mrs. Yobi.
Are you ready? Crossing the abyss is a phrase sometimes used to describe crossing over the sphere of death in a tree of life.
Exactly.
That's very deep.
No matter what wait, here's why I hate this dude. Because no matter what definition I gave him, he was going to say, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I know exactly.
Right,
you may not know what Pat Riley was saying, and that's fine. The uneducated won't, But here's what he meant. I've thought about this a lot. I'm not even doing a bit. I
don't want you translating anything Pat Riley.
Pat Riley does a lot of things.
That's like us trying to
Pat Riley has a lot of oceanic metaphors for things, right? The whale, burn the boats. And what he means here when we're facing the abyss is we are in the boat right now, and all we have is ocean in front of us. But there is nothing to go capture other than treasure. No whales, no harpoons, no islands. Just set course forth to Larry O'Brien.
I'm glad you can laugh at yourself here.
I just want to say one thing. Idiot.
Why?
What's trying so hard to make sense of what he meant?
No, the fact that we're sitting here listening to him, listening to this nonsense is the problem. What are we doing?
What do you mean?
Dude, you owe this show an apology.
What do you mean?
For what you tried. But first of all, I don't need you to translate anything that anybody says because you always seem to translate so that you and that other person are saying the same thing.
Why don't you ask Pat Riley today since you're going to be boots on the ground?
If he's around, sometimes he doesn't pop out J-Fig until the very end and the game starts. And then you can't get near it. You can't get no. You don't.
You can't get to him.
No, you can't.
Not with
the bald-headed security guy.
Not with the new
no, you
enforcer.
can't.
UD's there now.
No, you can't. But look, Jaime Jaquez. You remember what they said about you in the draft, dude? Leroy called you old today. I mean, there's all these doubters and haters. People wanted to trade you.
He is old for a rookie.
People wanted to trade you, Jaime, for Damian Lillard. Go shut those people up. Make them not even realize what Dame time is.
How about this? Jovic has one more year of NBA than Jaquez. And Jaquez is 4 or 5 years older than him.
Yeah, but you want to know something? What do you know what he doesn't
Who were
have?
the people trying to trade who?
People.
Everybody.
People were doing that, J-Fig.
No. See,
trying to trade who?
You.
Jaime Jaquez.
Oh, yeah?
No,
Say I was.
No.
This guy right here?
Green.
That was me looking at Mike McDaniel.
You wait.
I
said, why we
That's
want to
my
trade?
guy.
No. Why we want to trade these young guys? I would say that all the time. And you say, grow up, Peter Pan. That's the cost of doing business.
No.
We're just having fun, baby. We're just having fun.
You want to know what Jaime Jaquez has, dude? All right, you want to make fun of his age, but you want to know what he has that's mature? His footwork. And you're going to see it tonight.
Vocabulary.
And you're going to forget about Dame time. You're going to forget about Dame time, J-Fig. And you know what you're going to go to? Heim time. It's Heim time, baby.
As in L'Chaim?
-1.
No, it's Jaime.
Oh. L'Chaim.
It's all there for us. Don't worry about it, baby.
Time.
Time, dude.
It doesn't sound
Be
good.
very
Please
careful with
change
that, with that wording. Be very careful with that wording.
I'm time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Someone's telling me to
Al
cut
Mac-
your microphone.
I know, man. Cut his mic.
Why?
I've been trying to cut your mic for about an hour now, and you just won't stop.
Duncan Robinson. They wanted to trade you for Damian Lillard, dude. Okay.
So
did you. You go out there. What do they call it? They've called you a bloated fat cat. You got out there. You go out
You
there.
did.
No, I don't know. People have said this, Duncan Robinson. You need to go out there. You need to nail a lot of threes tonight. All right. You are the all-time.
Who's that? Who did that?
I don't know.
Who did that?
Probably Heat Reddit.
He read it.
You need to go out there. You need to add to your all-time Miami Heat career makes from 3 points, Duncan. Okay? Go make that happen today. Drew Smith. Nobody wanted to trade you, dude. But you go out there. You prove you're worth that standard contract. Cole Swider. You want to be the next Duncan Robinson? You better start making your threes immediately.
Last two texts of the day. Messages. Pinocchio knows about ready to hit Leroy. I agree. Tobin, you're drunk off the sauce, boss.
What do you mean? What?
I've had enough of you.
To quote J Fig's idol, it's me. People is me.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's not me.
You're the problem. It's you.
I'm the problem?
I am quoting the queen. Yes.
This is swole wider.
That's a show for today, everybody. Heat Nation, get your mind right, okay? Get ready to go cross the abyss. Boots on the ground. See you tonight.
So no, we gotta go back to this because you are a piece of work. You like, do you even like you don't even feel bad?
What do you mean?
What you're doing right now?
I don't feel bad.
You're calling somebody out
because he's
for
trying
being
to
semantic samurai.
Because they. I don't
Oh, you know what it is, Leroy? He finally met somebody better than him.
Yes.
Oh, he's the best.
That's the thing.
He is the best.
It's like when you go against your mentor and you realize
Oh,
I still haven't
it's
been
like-
able to
it's like-
beat him yet.
I
It's
don't
like
understand.
that Navy commercial with the guy fighting himself in the middle of the
But I
street.
don't understand this damage control that the Heat are trying to
It's not
do.
for you to decide.
But
You
it
should
should
understand-
be. It should be for me to decide as a
No.
mouthpiece for Heat Nation.
No,
you
wait.
should run all of this stuff
wait,
by me.
Wait. So says the guy who says, I want to apologize to Raheem Mostert on behalf of the Dolphins.
Right.
You don't want to apologize to him. You do the same stuff.
Tobin,
What?
if they ran things by you,
Yeah.
Oh,
Spoelstra would be in Portland right now.
yes.
But we'd have Damian Lillard.